Start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2. To speak to customer service, press 3.
Check, 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 check. Check, check.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2. To speak to customer service.
Your show is scheduled to start in 6 minutes, 9 seconds.
Check, check. I need levels.
Testing 1 2 1 2. Hang on. Make sure we have the packages to give out to these people.
Ready for this? Look. Robin,
how much time?
6 minutes. I want you to see this. See how it's blinking?
Yeah.
Recorder is recording.
Right.
I will double check this before we go live.
You're going to let it run for 6 minutes before?
It's okay.
Okay. Do we have enough?
I always start at 5 minutes before showtime. And the SD card, Tony, is wiped completely clean. Now I'm taking myself out of here.
Check, check, check.
Did you go talk to Doug Gottlieb at all, Robert?
No, not yet.
All right, I'll go talk to him. It's hard to do this and do that too. I know you got to do your thing.
Okay, this is going. Hang on, I got to go get Doug.
5 minutes until showtime.
The recorder volume is set, Robin. I'm just doing the amp now.
Four minutes until showtime.
Robin, can I talk to you?
Hold on. Six 924
9874.
3 minutes until showtime.
9874.
619-924-9874.
Correct.
Did you already contact Jack?
Jack's already on the line. I don't have to do anything else with this email thing again until tomorrow,
Huh?
right?
What?
I'm only emailing tomorrow, right?
What?
To the guy at Blog Talk
Right, because I already did it today.
for the links for today's show.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right, I can't find Chris Rose. He's all the way down there. Fuck. Scott can't
Where?
do it. He's all the way in the back.
I can ask Ivan to try to get him.
All right. What's the Asian girl's name?
2 minutes until showtime.
All right, I got to put my thin optics in. All right, Luigi, when we start, man, you can't be on the phone.
I'm off. I'm
right.
off. I'm doing social media stuff.
We've got to be locked in today.
Bro, I am ready to roll. Recorder is recording. Look, I got eyes.
I will ask Ivan to get Chris Sims.
Robin?
Chris, okay. Chris Rose, too.
Chris Rose.
Okay.
And
I'll
Chris
ask,
Sims?
I can ask him that.
Chris Rose and Chris Sims?
Yeah.
Okay, Robin, you see this?
Yeah,
We're recording.
Do you have the little makeup thing, Robin, by any chance?
Huh?
With you?
We have a minute. We have a minute.
Do you have the little makeup thing for here, by any chance? Just to dab it.
We have 1 minute.
Okay, I'm ready. Oh, man.
1 minute until showtime.
Oh, Tony, you want me to open up with...
Ain't no stopping us now.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
You are looking live with permission from Brent Musburger at the main stage here. Not the side stage, the main stage at the Mall of America. Radio Row in the front row. And we are broadcasting in Bloomington, Minnesota for Super Bowl 52. It's the Tony Bruno Show Live. Thank you for joining us again. We'll be here every single day. We're growing 24/7 here, nonstop. And, of course, we are brought to you by Thin Optics, always with you. And when you order your Thin Optics now, you get 15% off your purchase when you use the promo code Bruno on checkout. 15% off. We got our Thin Optics stuff here. I have mine always ready so that I can look down and read. And we have Thin Optics. All of our guests are getting here to come by. But you can go and get your own and check out the incredible number of beautiful cases that they have that you can put on your phone and take them with you everywhere. Thinoptics.com. Check it out. It's awesome. Everybody's raving about it.
Yeah,
we did it last year in Houston.
We spent hours putting those beautiful cases in those packages for people
That's right.
today, man.
Well, everybody was out partying last night after the media night. We went out. We went back to the Airbnb, and we were packing little packets for all of our guests.
But it was
coming by.
But it was nice though. We sat near the fire.
Sat
it
around
was
a
warm,
fire.
It was toasty. It was good.
No alcohol, and we wrapped these babies up real nice.
They look good.
They're beautiful. And you see, we have our little turntable there, too, where we can show people all the different cases.
It may weeble wobble, but it won't fall down, Tony.
You're damn right. Meanwhile, let's get down to the business. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We were at media night last night, and, of course, Super Bowl opening night. See, media parties tonight. That's not nobody cares about that except the slobs in the media who go there and eat and drink and go on the rides tonight at the beautiful Nickelodeon playground here in Mall of America in Bloomington, Minnesota, where the Metropolitan Stadium where the Vikings first played was here. Did you know that?
This was the first stadium?
The stadium was right here where the mall is, the Mall of America. In fact, they also played baseball here. The Minnesota Twins used to play in Metropolitan Stadium, and I was told earlier that if you walk around the mall, the home plate where it used to be, where Metropolitan Stadium stood, is still here. And they have like a lot of football memorabilia. You have to walk
is it like
around.
in the mall somewhere?
Yeah, so they have, obviously they have an area where it says this is where home plate stood in Minnesota.
So like Kirby Puckett's sweat is still somewhere around
No,
this
was
area?
way before Kirby Puckett played, man.
Okay.
Way before Kirby. That was the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome, which was the first dome stadium they built because they used to play outside.
We're talking the Killebrew days?
Harmon Killebrew, I don't know.
Is it the tail end? Was it the tail end,
It
maybe?
may be. What do I look like, an old man?
I'm asking,
don't answer that question.
No, you look like a connoisseur and a dinosaur, but I'm asking you questions.
I don't have all the answers. That's why we have Google. But
Well,
I have
we'll find
most
out.
of the answers. Of course, last night, opening night, marred by briny. I'm not going to call them salty Viking fans anymore because
Briny.
the people here have been great to us. I went on Paul Allen's show, PA on the mic, the voice of the Minnesota Vikings, and the fans were giving me
God,
a
I
roaring
love
round
him.
of applause. I love him too. He's a great
Well,
guy.
they were giving you both a roaring round of applause and
booing
boos
me.
at the same time.
And so I'm not going to get into the
They're very
Twitter
conflicted.
nonsense that a lot of people on Twitter are still doing it, and it's stupid. All right? It's over. It's Tuesday. And I understand the Viking fans are still upset. But last night, so a media night, they bring out the Patriots, and the fans, you can tell, they're not really excited because their team's
not at
not
all.
here. They wanted to be here, and they thought they were going to be here, and I don't blame them. But in the meantime, they bring out the Patriots, and it was like warm applause. The Eagles come out, and anytime they mention the Eagles, there are raucous boos.
Boos, yep.
And then they brought out the Eagles players with their children. So any of the players who had kids, they brought them out on the stage, and the fans were booing the children.
Yep.
What is worse, booing Santa Claus 50 years ago when he was a ragtag drunk at Franklin Field, or booing young children? You should never boo children. You can boo the players, you can boo the fans, but never boo the kids. Unless you're on a Boston radio station and you take a shot at Tom Brady's 5-year-old and call her an annoying little pissant. Then you can do that. And then you get suspended from your job because you're stupid enough to not realize that you're on a Boston radio station. That's the flagship station of the Boston.
Right. The one place
the
you
paper.
can't do that, you go ahead and do it.
And Tom Brady is on your show every week, and you take a shot at his daughter. So you can't do that. Whether it's, no matter who it is. Kids are off limits when it comes to tomfoolery and hijinks involving fans.
But last night, you know what I did last night, though, Tony?
What'd you do?
Walking through the stand, well, all the people were stuck in the pageantry and the lights of all the players coming down, doing the interviews. I found the real hero of this team. I found Howie Roseman wandering around the concourse, and I went up to Howie.
Did you get an exclusive interview?
I said 7 words to him. Well, maybe a few more. But I went over, I said, Howie, you the real MVP, Howie. And he looked over and he said, thank you. Thank you. Literally said thank you. I said
everybody was there.
And
last
I said
night.
the same thing you said to Jay Wright back in the college national championship on the floor. I said, Howie, go finish it, go win this thing. He says,
Bring this baby home.
We got it.
So I said it earlier. The Viking fans booing the Eagles.
Yeah, it was stupid.
That's fine. The players had nothing to do with it. They went out and won the game.
But the Eagles were doing the skull clap back at him. It was pretty good.
It was a fun night. It was
a fun night. I mean, they were all taking it in good jest.
No doubt about it. And you know, and the guy, the brightest person, the smartest proprietor in the Minnesota, St. Paul, the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, the smartest guy was the lawyer who was smart enough to think up the sign to put on the door of his law firm that said Eagle fans are welcome for a free drink and we'll throw a beer at you. So it was a play on, you come in, but a lot of the local media from Philly didn't even realize that it was a law firm. And so what this lawyer was able to do, because lawyers are smart like that and cheap like that, he got himself all kinds of free publicity because people thought it was a bar and that Minnesota fans who were operating that bar were going to take it out on Eagle fans by throwing beer cans at them. In the meantime, on the bottom of the door, it says somethinglaw.com.
I actually want to give him one of these for that.
Give him a roaring round of applause.
That's a good job out of him.
This guy, you know how much you have to pay to get advertising on major television and media stations?
Thousands of dollars.
This guy got all kinds of free publicity. So if you get in trouble in Minnesota, you know which lawyer to go to.
You know who to call.
You know who to call. And it's not...
You better call Saul?
Not Better Call Saul. And it's not Lundy Law. And it's not Cordell and Cordell. And it's not any of those law firms.
It's Cordell,
and it's not that guy right there. Don't call him.
I'll call him later.
Yeah, I'll call him later, too.
Who is that?
In the meantime, that's the man who runs Sirius XM.
The big boss. Fantastic.
Steve Cohen.
Steve
Everybody's here. It's Old Home Week. We're going to get Chris Rose to stop by. It's a big Chris day today. Not
Yes.
Chris Go. They're doing that in Philly on the polls.
Yes.
We're going to have Chris
Rose is coming
Rose,
on.
my former partner on Best Damn Sports Show. You see him on the NFL Network. He's here with Andrew Siciliano. And then we're going to have another Chris, not Chris Cross, because he'll make you jump.
Right.
And the Daddy Mac may be here later.
But they ain't wiggity whack either.
No, they're not. Nobody's whack in this town until the parties
Until
get
the party
cranking
gets
up.
going,
It up. So
the
also,
thing that people don't understand here is that, there's a few names that we can actually pre-schedule and we have them nailed down, so to speak. But most of the time, you're just grabbing people. They're coming up and they're like, "Ooh, can you fit us on the Tony Bruno show?" And it's last minute, and we're like,
And you know what I say?
Yeah.
get out of my face with that crazy stuff.
Now, because earlier in the day, people were asking like who was walking around, and earlier in the day, Ryan Leaf was here. Alex Smith came walking through.
And Alex Smith came walking through, and he said, "Gee, the Eagles are in the Super Bowl, and I still have Andy Reid as my coach, and he can't even get us to an AFC Championship game."
Hey,
ouch. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about.
Enjoy the win, man.
I'm going to enjoy the win, especially if they win the Super Bowl, Andy.
We got your Michael Finley over there.
Sure,
from the
Michael
Green Bay
Finley
Packers
is here.
tight end.
We will have an Olympian here, and I will be donning 2 actual Olympic silver medals.
Really?
I will be putting those babies on, and I will be confiscating them and then smelting them down later to build the Nick Foles statue in anticipation of a Super Bowl 52 victory on Sunday.
Now we got to clean your neck off because we don't want to tarnish any of that silver.
No. It's not just the silver; it's also jade because it was in
Yeah.
Beijing. It's
She
very
has
cool.
2 of her silver medals.
I got to see one.
We
of
have an
those.
Olympic swimmer here today. It's
Yes.
not quite swimming weather out there.
No, not quite.
I don't think
Unless
so.
you're doing the polar plunge, which
Exactly.
we declined.
It's
We had all
sinking
sorts
weather.
of options for media. That is the one option that we did turn down was the polar plunge.
Yes,
Got a
we
few
did.
Eagles fans in the house over here, little guys.
Speaking
fans
of
are
Eagles
here.
fans,
Yes.
speaking of, we might. I'm finalizing the deals, but it looks like Tony Bruno, you might be hosting an Eagles party.
Really?
At a fantastic location, which I will mention ASAP as soon as it's finalized.
And you know who will not be invited to that Tony Bruno Eagles Super Bowl party here in Bloomington, Minnesota, and St. Paul?
Who's that?
This man who just sat down at the desk and is not even going up to the mic. You hear him on Sirius XM radio.
Put his headphones
You
on.
know him. You love him. You can't live without him. He is the great Bruce Murray.
And I can't be invited to your party. What a massive disappointment.
No, I'll invite you.
You will? When's this big shindig that I'm missing?
It's a Super Bowl Sunday. It's coming up this Sunday. You may have heard of it.
You might have heard of it.
What happens?
I know the Giants and Jets aren't in
No,
it.
you know how we work in this business. I stay till Saturday, and then I leave. There's a game on Sunday? Who does that?
Bruce, of course, our old buddy from back in the day, ESPN. We go back with when
man.
ESPN was born in 1992, right?
25 years.
Exactly
Chuck
right, man.
Wilson, Tony Bruno, Keith Olbermann.
And Bruce Murray.
Those were the days.
On the
Meeting
other
in
side of the
Marriott
glass.
Hotel after shows.
Schmoozing
Nobody wants
on-
to hear those stories.
You were schmoozing on the other side of the glass back then, though, right?
Exactly.
Your mic's not on, Luis.
I want to hear some of those old Bruno Bash stories. That's what I need.
Well,
Some
we've heard a
some
lot of
good
those.
stuff.
How many times can we hear those stories?
Yeah.
We had a bathtub full of beer, and after the show, when we did 7 hours on the air, we'd go to my hotel room, get the beer in the bathtub. Everybody would drink and sit around and tell war stories.
No, the best part of the post-show meetings was that we would do this every week.
Okay.
This was at the beginning of ESPN Radio, and the guests were the same every week. John Davidson was our hockey analyst, Rick Barry was our basketball analyst, and every week somebody would have to say, what do we think of John Davidson? And my response was always like, he was John Davidson. Why do we need to evaluate?
And you know who we brought that up with last night at the party, at the media night? Kevin Young, who was there last
Kevin
night.
Young?
Yes.
Kevin Young.
What
was,
is he doing?
He's running. He's the main. You know what he does for Disney? He's been working for Disney for a long time. He was at the media thing last night, going up to players who might be the MVP. So he has to
to
get.
find out if they'll
yes,
come.
because he's
no,
the
they
guy.
need to sign. They need to sign
Right.
off ahead of time to be able to. If they win,
He
they
has to
can-
get their approval. Like, hey, if you win Super Bowl MVP, do you consent to say, when we come up with you with a camera after the game, hey, I'm so-and-so, what are you going to do now that you won Super Bowl 52? And the player says, I'm going to Disney
Right.
World.
Because they have to agree to it ahead of time because they're live.
Who,
You know, it's
who
like-
was the first? Do we know who the first
I don't
was?
remember,
know.
no. But
I
Bruce
don't
is the
remember.
guy who has to make sure he gets the approval beforehand.
That sounds like a really
So when are
crappy
you on
job.
now on Sirius XM?
That would be 11 to 3 Eastern time, Monday through Friday.
And what channel is that on the Sirius XM Sports
NFL
platform?
Radio, Channel 88.
NFL Radio.
Yeah.
It's a good
NFL
title for
Radio.
it.
Yeah.
NFL
we
Radio.
cover the NFL.
That's good.
Through
Why are you
Saturday,
here,
and then we stop.
You can't say that when I'm drinking water. You can't say that.
I don't really have any idea what we're doing.
It's always great to see you, Bruce, man. Thanks for popping up.
I was looking for you last night.
We were there. We were on the
you
floor.
know, that's our genuine hug moment.
I know. I was every.
I know.
Yeah,
We got there late.
Do you remember the excitement,
I do.
the enthusiasm?
But it was kind of weird
No,
last
there were
night.
protesters
It was a little
blocking
weird.
the streets
That was
last
weird
night.
last night. I agree.
And then listen, they have a right to protest. So when they were chanting, "Whose street?" and I would say Milton Street.
And I was going John
Street.
Listen.
And then they'd say, "Who's to school?" and I'd say Old School.
So
I was involved.
Let me just say this. This is not enough Tony Bruno time. I have thin optics as well, by the way. Take a
you
look on
really?
the back.
Do
Look
you?
on the back of my phone.
That is awesome.
Thin
They're our
optics.
sponsor.
Yeah. Oh, they
They're
really?
official.
Didn't I give them to you last year?
No, I just emailed them today to get a replacement pair for free.
See,
Because
that's
they
how
break
great
like every
they
2
are.
months.
So you
They're
bought
amazing.
them like I
I've
did,
had them
right?
for years. Had them for years.
And look,
Yeah.
look right here.
Wait, are you giving away free
The
pairs?
least we can do is
Yes.
replace them right
Yes.
now.
I
for
need
a
free
replacement.
pairs.
I
Yeah.
can give you an
No.
Have you seen the new thing that they have now
No,
where they
listen.
have the magnets on the back and you can keep
He's
changing
got
them
the
out?
hole for the magnet
Yeah,
right there.
you may not
No.
know this. I'm in demand. I have to go do North Dakota radio.
Well,
Can
you're
I come
big
back?
enough.
Come back.
We
And
got
I
Come
anything
back.
you need.
I'm going to
Look
grab
at-
like 10 pairs of these.
look
Absolutely.
behind
And the
you.
keychain.
All
Oh,
the
my goodness,
selection
no.
that they have.
I'm on at 3:15. I'm coming back. Don't
Thin
forget
optics.
me. Don't forget me.
How
All right.
great is it? Seriously now, this is
I love
unsolicited.
them. You're not paying me for this. Look, I got them on the back of my phone. All right, I'll be back in a couple minutes.
He's not
great-
he's not only a president. He's
He's a client.
He's a client.
He's not just the president of the Thin Optics Club for Men. He's a client.
How about that, man?
How about that? And let's bring in another man. It's going to be a fun day today because this man is now going to give everybody the dope, the skinny. Because I saw him before and I said, "What are we going to do? What's going to happen on Sunday?" You know this man. Did you see Two for the Money?
Of course.
Do you know who that was based on?
Brandon Lang.
Brandon Lang, ladies and gentlemen, in the house today. Give him a roaring round of applause.
Thanks, Big T. What's happening, buddy?
BrandonLang.com. So what did you say to me when I saw you today on Radio Row and you came up to me?
Well, first of all, going back to the NFC Championship game when everybody thought Minnesota was the right side of the game, and I didn't give out a pick on air. I wanted everybody to go to BrandonLang.com, and I said, but I'm going to ask you a question. If you can answer this question correctly, you're going to have the winner of Philadelphia, Minnesota. I said, here's the question. Who has the better offensive line, Minnesota or Philadelphia? If you watched both divisional games objectively, Saints, Minnesota, Atlanta, Philly, that answer should be pretty obvious to you. And I go, there's your winner. 38-7, there's your winner.
Yeah.
So when you break down the Super Bowl, and people ask me how over the years I've been able to go 22-3 in the Super Bowl, is there a secret? You have to treat the game as if it's any other Sunday game.
Yep.
Take the hype and throw it out the window. That means nothing. It's two teams taking the field. People want to say, the Patriots have all this experience. Well, if they have all this experience, why is it that every Super Bowl they play is a close game? Last time I
Good
checked,
question.
I don't see them blowing out Buffalo, putting up a 50 spot like Dallas. I don't see them blowing out like Steve Young and the Niners, putting up a 50 spot on San Diego. Their 5 Super Bowl wins have been by 3, 3, 3, 4, and 6.
But this is not disrespecting the greatness
Not
and,
at all.
and the dynasty.
Not at
They're
all.
a dynasty, a legit
Absolutely.
dynasty.
So my point is, when they're at the Super Bowl, they're not the better team. They're just the better coach team, which is why they win close games. That leads me into this Super Bowl. I handicap the Super Bowl just like I handicap any other game. I start in the trenches. Offensive, defensive lines. Because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the game. Now, if I have a disparity there, enough to put me on the dog, then I'm going to use the dog. And in the Super Bowl, this is the 52nd Super Bowl. Of the 51 Super Bowls, the team that has won the game has covered 43 of those 51 Super Bowls. So that tells you, if the dog covers, the chances are the dog is going to win the game. That's what history shows us. Is it tough to beat the Patriots? Absolutely. But you're not going to convince me that the Patriots' offensive line is better than the Eagles. That's the best offensive line in football. You're not going to convince me that the defensive line of New England is better than Philly. Ain't happening. It's why you can't score on the Eagles in the fourth quarter.
So my question is, I just want to know how you, because the way you break the game down, you go from the inside out. You start from the offensive defensive lines. So, but once you get past the offensive line, the Philadelphia Eagles, on the other side of the field, on the other side of that offensive line is Tom Brady, which you can't discount. So when you get to that point, when you get to Brady, how do you get off the fact that they have Tom Brady to say that the Eagles can beat Tom Brady?
I tell you to see both games against the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
Because if you watch the first Miami-New England game in Foxborough, you'll see a final score of 35-17. What you won't see that is in the second half of that game, New England went very vanilla offensively.
Yes, they did.
And they ran the football because Brady was getting his butt kicked. And Belichick went over to Josh McDaniel and said, we just need to get out of this game without getting Brady hurt. No more 5-step drops. Just go 3-step drop, short passing game, run the football. Let's get out of here. And the only reason why they covered the game was because Gase went for it on 4th and 9 with 9 minutes to go, down 11, and gave them. The reason I know this is because I had New England minus 16 and a half, and I needed something. And when Gase went for it and gave New England the ball in the 32, I go bingo, short field. Here comes my covering touchdown, and I got it. Second meeting against Miami on Monday night, they were a 10.5-point road favorite. He got the snot kicked out of him again, and that's why the Giants were able, as great as Tom Brady is. The kryptonite of Tom Brady is get him off his spot. He becomes average Tom Brady. He was average against the Giants in both meetings. They were 18-0, the greatest football team we'd ever seen in the history of mankind. And the Giants knocked the snot out of them because they're able to get pressure with 4. I'm not paying attention to the first half of this game. When the second half gets there, and that Eagle defensive line, which has rotated 8 guys all game
they're very
long,
deep.
and they keep coming,
Yep.
that's where the game is won. And here's the fallacy. Everybody's going to say, well, the New England Patriots got the best defense in the NFL the last 11 games of the year. They're only averaging, giving up 14 points. Okay, who you played? The last offense that you saw that is in the class of the Eagles, the New England Patriots saw 3 run-pass option offenses all year. Granted, there were weeks 1, 3, and 4. Kansas City, Houston, Carolina.
Correct.
42, 33, 33. Since week 4, they haven't faced an offense like the Eagles.
And those points were also given up to quarterbacks along a la Alex Smith, Deshaun Watson, a rookie.
Cam Newton.
And Cam Newton.
Who can't throw the ball.
And has no one to throw it to.
Yep. So to beat New England, you get your knee on your throat, you put a knife through their heart, and all you need to know about Doug Peterson is this. I don't care who you are in the NFL. You got a 21-7 lead at home. You got 29 seconds on the clock with 2 timeouts, but you're on your own 19-yard line against the #1 defense in the NFL. Why take chances there? You're in complete control of the game. Just take an ego in the locker room. We're good to go. Let's go get some more.
You're exactly right.
I think
You're exactly right, and that's the difference between what Doug Marrone did in the AFC Championship game and what Doug Peterson has done all year. He is not going to back down and say, oh, my God, Bill Belichick's on the other sideline. If he's up on them, they're going to keep – he's going to go for it. And nobody goes more on 4th down than Doug Peterson. And I've seen it living in Philly. This guy has been an absolute mastermind at knowing his team and how to make adjustments. And nobody makes adjustments. As great as Belichick is, Doug Peterson's one of the best adjustment-making coaches in the league this year. There's nobody even close to him.
In-game.
In-game, absolutely.
He's one of the best in-game coaches.
Absolutely.
And he's taken, just like his quarterback, Carson Wentz, early in the season, took his game to an elite-type level. Peterson did the same with his coaching ability in the game. He took everything he learned from Andy Reid, but the one thing he didn't take with him was his inability to coach inside of the game. That's the one thing he
You think about this. Your head coach is a quarterback. Your offensive coordinator was a quarterback. People want to know why Nick Foles is playing so well. Because you put Peterson's brain with Frank Wright's brain to get in Nick Foles' brain. We know exactly what we have to do to make this guy successful because we were quarterbacks. We believe in him, and that's why he's played well. 23 of 30 for 245 yards and no turnovers. 26 of 33 for 352 and 3 touchdowns against the #1 defense in the NFL. So people do not... I'm sorry, 2013, Michael Vick gets hurt. You come in and throw 27 touchdowns and 2 interceptions and make the Pro Bowl. Nick Foles is going to be fine.
I agree.
I'm not worried about Nick Foles. If I'm New England, I'm worried about my defense with linebackers that can't cover tight ends. The New England defense is not very good. I went to the Jacksonville-Buffalo game. I watched that whole game, and I watched a Jacksonville offense that couldn't even pick up a first down against the Buffalo Bills. And I said to myself, this is one of the worst offenses I have seen in my life. I was disgusted that I even went to the game and had to sit through that mess. Okay?
That's what Viking fans were saying in Philly last week.
I watched that same offense shred Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh's got no defense. Then I watched that same offense go up to New England and move the ball at will against them. And the whole time I'm watching that game going, Philly is going to torch this defense. Listen, I never released the Super Bowl this early. My wife says, you're so locked in. She goes, this is the most stress-free 2 weeks of my life.
It's the rocket chair ride for you, Brandon? Megan, as you get here to enjoy this?
Yes. I don't just have the Eagles covering. I have them winning the game outright. And I have them winning the game comfortably. I have them getting punished.
Well, I said 37-24. That was my prediction. I think the Eagles can
And I
score
was
on
the
this
only
team.
guy last year. I was
Me
the
too.
only guy last week, the championship game, predicting that the Eagles would beat the Vikings by double numbers. Because I just felt it. I felt it coming. There was too much confidence, and they were outside, and it was in Philly, and that crowd was crazy. And the Eagles aren't afraid of anybody, and Doug Peterson's not afraid of anybody.
It's was teed up for us 2 weeks ago with Philadelphia when the home teams in the NFC Championship game had won 8 straight. But that wasn't the kicker. The kicker was I'm sitting there 5 minutes before kickoff. 5 minutes before kickoff. I've already unloaded on Philadelphia, and I'm sitting there, and here came the graphic. Dome teams outdoors in the NFC Championship game in the history of the NFL are 0-12. I couldn't get my cell phone to my bookie fast enough to bet everything I own. My wife goes, are you out of your mind? I go, what's my max play? That's my max play. I hung up. My wife goes, you're out of your mind. I go, no, watch this. Then Vikings go down and score 7-0. She goes, I'm going to kill you. I go, relax.
Just wait.
Everything's fine.
Wait, baby, wait.
Let it develop.
Let it marinate a little bit, we like to say.
I try to call my guys. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. That's all I'm getting. That's all I'm getting.
The great Brandon Lang releasing it earlier. That's unheard of, man.
Yep.
It's unheard of.
Yep.
And I agree with you. And the big money bags are now out in Vegas.
Philadelphia.
We're going to have to call John Avello again
We're going
and
to
see
get
what's
Johnny at the
developing.
win on. Because I already have it broken down. A multi-million-dollar bet at MGM already in the house. And offshore, obviously, is where all the money
Huge,
comes.
yep.
79, I just got the stat. $4.76 billion will be bet on this Super Bowl. Only 3% of it in Vegas. The rest of it's offshore and your local bookie.
Yeah.
That's amazing when you consider that.
Yeah, I broke it down like this. You look at the 5 Patriot wins in the Super Bowl. Super Bowl win number 1 against the Rams. Kurt Warner went right through them the first 3 possessions, got inside the 20-yard line, and kicked 3 field goals. There's 9-0. That could have been a blowout. Super Bowl number 2, Steve Smith and Jake Delhomme lit them up, put up 31. They couldn't get one stop in that fourth quarter, or they lose that one. The Eagles, Andy Reid and Donovan McNabb threw up on themselves in the first half, or they probably have a 2-score lead in that game. Up 10, McNabb got us the back door to cover.
To Greg Lewis in the end zone for the touchdown.
And
I went back and actually watched that game because they aired, NFL Network aired again. They had the condensed 20-minute version.
Yeah.
That game was there.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it was
100%.
there, Brandon.
100%.
That game was there.
100%. And there's no way they should have beat Seattle.
Nope.
And there's no way they should have beat that. So before we label them the greatest dynasty we've ever seen, they are 1 or 2 plays away from being 1-7 in the Super Bowl.
But that's the difference, though. You got to give them the 1-7.
I tip my cap.
I mean, the Atlanta game last year. That's a complete choke job.
But,
more than and give the Patriots credit. But the Atlanta Falcons basically spit that game up.
Well, and to piggyback on your point is that final possession for the Atlanta Falcons. For Matt Ryan to take that sack, that whole offensive set, they were playing not to lose, not to win. They were playing just not to lose, and they ended up shooting themselves in the foot, taking them 20 yards outside of field goal range, which cost them the Super Bowl.
Right.
If they kick the field goal, there's no time left. There's
right. The panic on first down after losing 2 yards.
Yep.
I get Kyle Shanahan wants to throw it. I get that. We're going to throw it, 3-step drop, something quick. Can't drop him back in a 5-step drop. Runs away from the sack, loses 12 yards out of field goal range. I put that on Dan Quinn. You got to say to Kyle Shanahan, listen, run it 3 times, make them use their timeouts. At worst, it's a 45-yard field goal to win the Super Bowl. That's what we're doing. To put it in his hands, to drop him back twice, then the holding penalty, you're right. They gave that one away. Tony's right. Give Belichick credit for hanging in there. But in this Super Bowl here, in my opinion, you're looking across that sideline, and Doug Peterson will not go into this Super Bowl coaching not to lose.
Exactly.
He
I
is
agree.
going to go into that
You know
Super
your
Bowl.
football, Brandon. That's why I wanted you on the show. Not because you agree with me completely, but because you're a football genius. You're not like Luigi, who thinks he's a football genius.
No, I don't
This
claim to be
man
a
is a
genius.
documented football genius.
Listen, I'm a prognosticator like anyone else. I'm not like Punxsutawney Phil or anything. I get it right most of the time.
Isn't he coming up with his prediction tomorrow?
The Groundhog?
Is it
Groundhog-
February? Groundhog Day. Is
When
it
is
tomorrow or it's this week?
The Groundhog makes his prediction.
Yes.
He's been right like what? It's
Well,
Let me check.
It's bogus because he's always going to predict 6 more weeks of winter.
Right.
So when he sees his shadow, I forget what the order is now because I don't pay attention to it anymore.
Right.
I'd rather pay attention to you, Brandon, and win some money.
Appreciate that.
Can you
T.
bet on the Groundhogs pick? Whether it's but here's the thing. It's
Friday.
6 more
Friday,
weeks.
February 2nd is
So
Groundhog
it's this
Day.
Friday, Super Bowl Friday. We'll know a lot of things about this game. We'll know where more money's coming in.
Yep.
And we'll also know whether it's 6 more weeks of winter or winter ends in 6 weeks.
Well, the Super Bowl is being played on Groundhog's Day.
No, it's Sunday is Groundhog's Day.
They coincide. The Super Bowl and Groundhog's Day coincide.
No, it's not Sunday.
Friday, February 2nd is Groundhog Day.
Okay, that's what it's saying here on the internet.
That's wrong. Give yourself one of those, man, for bad information. We don't want one thing we don't tolerate, Brandon.
Bad information.
Bad information. So you're giving it out already, man.
Absolutely.
So now what are you going to do on your website?
Well, I got prop bets up too.
Okay,
prop
beautiful.
bets inside. I got the actual predicted final score in there as well. BrandonLang.com. I got the 1-day free all access pass. If you've never been to the website and you go there for the first time, you can get the whole day for free.
Now, what's the craziest bet you're taking right now? Like the weirdest prop bet?
This is a prop bet I love. I haven't seen a prop bet I love like this in 25 years. Will Al Michaels say the name Rocky? It's plus 180 that he does. I honestly feel we win that prop bet right off the top.
Oh, heck yeah.
They were
That's
a
like
dog
a
against
no-brainer.
Atlanta. They were a dog against Minnesota.
Yes.
The ultimate dog, Rocky Balboa,
Oh.
plus 180. You can win, Rock. Love that one.
Yes.
Here's the second one I love. Go ahead.
No. I actually have some breaking news on that Punxsutawney Phil thing.
Yes.
It's actually, forget about Phil. You want to talk about accuracy? You want to go with Staten Island Chuck. Staten Island Chuck, the groundhog, he's picking 80% winners since 2010.
Yeah, he's a sharp.
And on a
He's a sharp on Long Island.
He's a sharp on Long
The
Island.
other dude lives in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
What does he know?
In the middle of nowhere.
Staten Island Chuck, that's who you want.
I had a bookie named Staten Island Chuck once. Is he still operating under an assumed name now?
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So Rocky was the first prop
Rocky
bet,
for
and then
plus
second-
180. He says it. I say we get that one.
Oh,
the
that's
first,
a lock. I
First
mean,
3
you
minutes.
send it in.
Number 2, the one I love.
You don't do the national anthem time, right? 2 minutes
Well,
or
I say
plus?
African-American singers go over, white singers go under.
That's a lock.
So,
No, it's a lock.
It's a lock.
They carry it
Go
out
under
more.
the national anthem.
I need my lead pipe sound here. Do we
Except
have
for
it?
Mariah Carey.
Mariah, she's half. She's,
Oh,
she's
okay,
half
so
and
she-
half.
so she could
She's
go
not
either way.
Pink's a straight white.
But Whitney Houston was the
She's
greatest
not there.
one of all time.
That was the overlock of a century.
Yes.
Yes.
In fact, as far as Super Bowl over-under is concerned with the national anthem, she holds it for the longest. Okay. Second of all, last year I went heads and got it. This year's I'm going tail. Tails never fail. So we're going tails on the coin toss. Last but not least, how many times will Tom Brady's age be mentioned during the telecast? The over-under is 5.
Oh.
I think that's way too
That's-
many.
I'm going under, too.
I think under's a mortal lock. So we got Rocky gets mentioned at plus 180.
Yes.
Under 5 with Brady's age at plus 110. Can't parlay them together, but I love those two prop bets.
But you're getting money you're getting plus 180,
Yes.
which means you bet 100, you win $180
Yes, if he says
for him
Rocky.
to say Rocky.
Rocky.
I would remortgage I would
Yes.
take out a reverse mortgage and
Yes.
bet on that. In fact, I'm going to talk to Al tomorrow when I saw him
make
today.
sure he says it.
And I will slip him a couple bucks.
You just need to.
Because-
All you need to do is say a really great phrase and get it in his brain, and he'll
Yes.
like it'll like
Like that movie
start
with
to
Will
fester.
Smith,
Yes.
the gambling movie.
Yes, you just
where the guy and the numbers,
yeah.
whatever.
You
Yeah,
just
it's
you
great.
just mention it. It starts to sort of play inside, and it works its way
will
through.
have 50 shots of the Rocky statue near the
yeah.
art museum.
He says Rock.
There's no bigger
no-
lock.
That's the greatest prop bet ever.
There's no bigger lock. And you're getting money
It's
in
plus
that?
what?
Plus
180.
180.
Almost 2
I
to
handed
1.
it to you. I'm teeing it up for
That
you.
is, man. Are there local books here? I got the Bank of America ATM right here, and my card is absolutely burning a hole in my pocket.
I call Ziggy right now, put some action. That's no problem. He's got a account. That's no problem, Tom. He takes credit
Call
cards.
Staten Island Chuck.
Yeah, got that nice
Call everybody on Staten Island. Call everybody in South Philly. Call my
is
boys
great.
down there in South Philly and say, Guido, Nunzio,
I'm dead
Salvatore.
serious. I'm dead serious.
Mail it in, boys. Mail it in.
I do have someone that will take this action. We can put this in.
Yes, put it in.
I want to retire after the Super Bowl,
Put it
just
in.
like Tom Brady will when the Eagles finish him
Put
off.
it in.
You know what? I can't afford to lay the kind of action that Brandon's laying and some of the guys he knows. But I'm serious. What do you think? G?
Gee,
You want to go G straight on it?
got to see what my bank account says right now.
I got 1,000 to put on it.
I may put my
I'll go 1,000.
next month's alimony
I will
payment
take.
on it.
I'll
How
take
about
your
that?
advice, Brad. I'll take the free 800 and put it in my pocket. All right, and I will thank, and you will become a fan of Rock. You will go see Rocky 2 after this.
No,
Tony.
I won't.
After Rocky helps you win some cash, you will go see Rocky 2.
I'll go see the next Creed movie. How about that?
Yeah,
They're filming
that's
that.
good enough. It's got the lineage.
Exactly.
The lineage going.
Well, Brandon, it's great stuff, man. You
Thanks,
got me
T.
jacked up
Love
now,
it.
man. When
Thanks,
you
T.
when you came over to me today and we talked, and I'm like,
I'm
we
excited.
got to get you on the show, man.
Thanks, T.
Because you're not just some guy walking around here who's going to just everybody has their opinion.
No, he's world famous, man.
Damn right he is.
Thanks,
BrandonLang.com.
Let's get to 23 and
More importantly, he's also more accurate than most of these
Damn
people
right.
that are walking
Well,
around.
with the Super Bowl. This is kind of the pick that's defined my career. So we've hit 3 in a row, 22 and 3. And I really like the Eagles plus the points.
Yeah, that was a question actually
Just
came up
to
on social
follow
media.
up.
Was what was the winning streak at currently before your last?
Currently, it's 3 in a row.
Okay.
And on my website, I just don't throw out 200 dime releases like they're anything. I've had 3 the whole year. I've hit all 3. The aforementioned New England over Miami, the game I was talking about, lane 16.5. Number 2 was Philly over Atlanta. Number 3 was Philly over Minnesota. Number 4 is Philly over.
Wow.
So it's
may
200
may I
dimer.
just ask the follow-up
Yes.
question? How did your wife react after the game?
After the game, how about the third quarter?
She had a really nice shopping spree.
There you
Have
go.
you taken her here to the Mall of America?
Happy wife, happy life.
Yes.
Yes,
You
exactly.
guys need to realize that.
Now, did she come with you on this trip?
No.
I was going to say, look at this place. We're in
Don't
one
bring
of the
don't bring
biggest
sand
malls
to
in
the
America.
beach.
I
Don't
hear
bring
you,
sand to
brother.
the
Don't
beach.
bring sand to the
beach.
Oh, now
You
we
see what I
have
brought to wear? You see my
And listen,
wardrobe lately?
I have a look that I love: jeans and boots. It's my
It's a
fetish.
great,
I'm not
yes.
afraid to admit it. I love jeans and boots. All you see here
Jeans
is
and boots,
jeans
jeans
and
And the
boots.
one plus you get about being in Minnesota, it's boots with the fur, Brandon. It's
Yeah,
boots
right.
with the fur, brother.
I got jeans and boots. Now, Brandon,
We're
we
going to
have
have
a
boots
question
to
for you.
asses on,
Yes.
as
Tony,
The Rock said.
He swore that if the Eagles won, he was going to streak down Broad Street. We have people asking if you're going to join him.
He's in more a
If
warmer
the
climate than
Eagles
I am,
win
though.
the game outright, is Tony going to streak wearing what, underwear?
No.
No, he and I are going to go
The full
streaking down
Monty.
Broad
The
Street.
true-
You guys
The
are
full
going
Monty.
full
Full Monty.
And there's a
naked.
whole group of people that are now, they're on the bandwagon. They're saying, and we're calling it the Eagles winning streak down Broad Street.
Wow.
But you know what, though? It won't matter it won't matter if they win. I'll be covered in cash.
We're gonna-
I'll be covered in cash. It won't even
You're
matter,
going to get
brother.
arrested.
That's all right. It's
We're
worth
going
it.
to do it for charity.
Yeah, we'll do it for a good cause. You can do anything now and then. They don't arrest anybody anymore.
have a
Figure out
naked
if I
bike
can
run.
Figure out a way to fly up, I'll do it.
Beautiful,
We can
man.
get you
Heard
to.
it?
We can get you up. Don't worry about
All right.
that.
You
We'll
guys-
get
Hearing a guy
So
say
to
that doesn't
speak,
work.
so to
All
speak.
right, so listen, Eagles win outright. You guys fly me up. I'll streak down Broad Street.
Oh, beautiful.
You
We'll figure
heard
it.
it
We will
here
get. We will get it
first.
works.
All right, Brandon,
I'll go
thanks
to
for
the
coming on,
Gotta
man.
give
It's always
McMahon a
great to
royal
see
round
you,
of applause
brother.
here.
By the way, give him some thin optics here. You gotta have all this. Have you seen these thin optics? They're the greatest invention ever. Look, Bruce
Sometimes-
Murray has them from
Yeah.
Sirius NFL.
Sometimes the lines are written very, very small, Brandon. You need to be able to put
You
some
look
nice reading
down
glass
and
on.
and there's a keychain one, and then take a packet.
What's the magnification?
It's what, 200?
It's actually it's anywhere between like
150 and
125 and close to 300, depending on where you
there's
place
one
it on
with
your
a couple
nose.
different ones in there.
Okay.
Try them out. They're the greatest. Look, Bruce came up to me and he already had them.
Same as this?
We got
That's a
Ivan over here.
keychain
That's
one,
the
and this
key-
is the one that goes on the back of your phone. See, it stays on your phone.
You can take
So
both
they're
of them.
always with you. See, they're always with you. So wherever you are, you know, you're in a restaurant, you're in a
I'm going to
bar,
give you more. Hang on.
and you can't see the check.
No, I got that. I need that.
You have to have it.
Every time I'm in a bar, I can't see the check regardless.
We're streaking.
We're going streaking.
Outright, we're streaking.
Outright, we streak.
And Bruce is going to come down from New York City and streak down Broad Street with
I got
us.
him coming right now.
When the Eagles win.
We have Carolyn.
Yes.
All right, we got another
Okay.
guest coming in, Bruce. Now, did you get your thin optics? No, we don't take any breaks. Give him
I'm
the
gonna- I'll get it
boxes
for you
right
in
back
just
there.
a second.
Relax.
Let me get Kara on here. So
You don't
that I
even
can,
now have to send it back to the company. We're here. We are the company. Get what you need over there. We got them. Coming over here. I'm hooking you up. And you're going to come over here and make demands? I'll throw a beer can at you if you don't get out of here.
So let's have Kara sit down, and then I will take care of the gentleman in a minute.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now joined by true royalty here. Not Bruce Murray. Not Brandon's up there because he's one of the greatest of all time. But now, Did you bring your silver medals?
I brought them just for you.
All right, let me get you closer to the mic, because now, ladies and gentlemen, I've done this before, by the way. You're not the first Olympian that has let me wear their medals.
Here
But
we
these
go.
are actual Olympic medals,
Hey,
silver
you're
medals.
natural. Look at that.
Look at that. It goes with my complexion, doesn't it, the silver?
Yeah, it looks
And
good
I'm
on
not a
you.
vampire, or else I would be melting, right?
That's right.
So you have, ladies and gentlemen, Carolyn Joyce, who won this silver. This one is from
Athens,
Athens.
2004.
2 silver medals there. So you didn't bring all 4 of them. That would be showing
didn't.
off,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's just clunky.
Some serious
You've seen one,
bling,
you've
man.
seen them all.
Serious bling. Now this is the one from Beijing.
Yes.
And they had jade in the back of it, right?
Yeah.
Because every year the medals are different in different Olympiads, obviously.
Yeah.
They're always
every
silver.
year.
Are they?
Well,
But are they always like this one's smaller?
Yeah.
And this one's a bigger silver. So you don't really know until you get there what the medals look like, because they're different in every country, right?
Well, okay, so for the Summer Olympics, the front of the medal is always the same. It's the Greek goddess Nike, which is the goddess of victory.
And the goddess of sneakers, of
And the
course.
goddess
yeah.
of
And the guys are
sneakers.
paying at the yin yang for sneakers.
And then the back is what's different every year.
Okay.
But then for Winter Olympics, like you'll see next week, every year the Winter Olympics are different. Nothing
Right.
about it's the same. But there's a little bit of consistency and history to the summer ones.
Beautiful. And you were in the 2 summer games, and you won the 4 medals. You're a great swimmer, obviously, in college.
It's a Georgia Bulldog, man. Go
Georgia
Dogs.
Bulldog. Hunkered down. They didn't hunker down in the national championship game.
Hey, you know they gave it their all. That was a damn good game. You
Yeah,
have
it
to
was.
say
It really
that.
was.
Even
When you go
for
that-
for
you
my
go that-
3-day hangover, you know, it was a good game.
3 days.
So now, your last Olympia was 08.
12.
I mean, 12.
actually.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You know how many? I've been to a bunch of Olympics, so I love going to the Olympics.
Yeah.
I was in LA in '84.
Okay.
I've done a bunch of. I was in Sarajevo in '84.
That's so cool.
Wow.
I love to hear him say that.
And you're a Philly guy.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
my coach at Georgia, he's like a second father to me. His name's Jack Bowerly, and he's like the biggest Philly sports guy you've ever met.
Down in Georgia, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I mean, guys at practice would watch like any Philly like sports the night before, because Jack would stop and be like, "Hey, you catch the game last night?" And then they'd be able to like stop and get out of practice and like talk sports with Jack. And so we kind of all got on the train. We would all watch Philly sports to try to like distract him during practice so we could get out.
So now, this obviously, it's when there's a lot of swimming. What do they call them?
Heats.
No, not meets.
No, heats.
Elements.
Those heats.
You know, there's the
Strokes.
breaststrokes. There's the
Strokes.
Oh, okay.
right.
Elements, though. I
Elements,
like that.
yeah, elements. I would call them elements. No, but there's an actual name
can't
for
swim,
what they
so I
are.
don't even know.
The strokes.
Luigi he brags about everything he can do, but he can't swim.
I can do a lot of things.
I can teach you.
I don't know. Many have tried. Many have tried. If you, we can go over to the log flume. They have some small water over there. It might, may or may not
Stingrays
drown.
down there too. I can teach you. Trust me.
I'm
How
not
about in
swimming
the
with
Mississippi
stingrays.
River? You do the, they have
It's frozen.
They have a zip line across the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
And then we'll just unleash Luigi, and then he falls right into the
Yes,
Mississippi,
yes.
which is not
This
frozen.
is a terrible idea.
Fight or flight.
my problem is now Robin used to be able to. She's taught many people how to swim.
Yeah,
used to
because
teach
she grew up in the
autistic children
Netherlands,
how
and
to
Sink or
swim.
swim, yeah.
everybody in the Netherlands has to know how to swim because they're below sea level.
Yeah, you
so
know, the
as
Netherlands,
babies go in.
they won the gold medal against us when we won one of those silvers. They're
Yes.
very good swimmers.
I have this phobia of deep water as it is, but she tells me that it's harder for me to swim and to stay floating and tread water because I'm so dense. I don't have much buoyancy.
Body fat?
I feel like Michael Phelps didn't have a lot of body fat.
That's what I'm
I
feeling
don't
too.
know.
That's what
I'm
I
just
mean.
guessing.
No, but that's what I'm saying though. Is that she tells me this, and I'm going, but that's BS because the guy who swims faster than anybody else is shredded.
No,
No,
but
she meant dense, not in body
Oh,
weight.
I'm a
She
moron.
meant
I'm a
mentally.
moron.
But when you're learning
Yeah,
how
we're all
to
laughing,
swim
having a
and
good
you're
time.
relying on certain buoyancy to be able to stay afloat, it is a little bit more difficult when you are. You
Yes.
have really dense, you sink much more. Like me, I have a little extra padding. I'm just going to float no matter what.
Everyone can float, regardless
Yes.
of how dense
No,
you are.
no, not me.
Yes, you can.
Body-wise,
You just
between
don't
the
know.
ears, everyone can
Even
float.
Hope floats, so you could be float every once in a while.
You just don't know how to lay your head and the arm.
Well,
and
that's
you're
what I do. I
working,
go,
you're getting
I'm doing
on.
it. That's me.
You're getting
It's all
there.
about, you got to relax. You got to be one with the water, super relaxed.
So a few drinks before you go in, things like that.
No, you can't.
Yeah, we recommend that.
you.
But the more relaxed you are, the easier your body
I
will
want to
float.
swim. I'm trying to take lessons. I want to learn how to
The
swim. I
older
wanna
you
go
get,
do
the
this.
harder it becomes because it's a
Yes.
psychological thing.
Yeah, I could teach you. Give me an afternoon.
All right, let's do
I'll
it.
teach you.
Let's do it.
There's no really warm pools here, though. I don't
No, we
swim
go
in
right
cold
Put
now.
you
water.
in the cold pool.
Yeah, the cold pool.
That'll motivate you.
Yeah.
Carolyn
There goes
Joyce,
all my confidence. Goodbye.
two-time Olympic medal. So now these. I remember when they used to be solid silver, but they're not really solid silver anymore,
I've
right?
heard that they're just silver plated.
An outrage.
But
Because I
there's
wanted to put these in. You know, you always see the commercials. What's in your safe? Buy silver because the silver content of the world is diminishing.
Are they 0.925?
I don't know what they are.
I couldn't tell you.
But they're heavy though.
They are. Well, and it's funny because like the one in Athens from 2004, that silver is tarnished. The one in Beijing 2008, it's still like brand new looking, and I don't know why.
Are you allowed to use the dip it? You know how they when you do the silverware at home?
Oh yeah, I haven't done that. I'll probably like disintegrate them on accident.
You don't have to spend your money on that.
What do you do?
If you take orange juice, warm water, and ketchup, dilute it, and put your silver in there, it will.
Yeah, that's what you want to do with 2 Olympic silver medals.
No, it will. I'm telling you, it takes all the tarnish off your silver. The citric acid takes all the tarnish.
Which is
off.
hack my medal now? It's hack my medal.
No, I'm just trying to help the common folk who doesn't have the the tarnish.
Common folk. You're not a common folk when you win 4 silver medals in the Olympics.
Other people have other stuff. They have other silver.
And I love the Beijing one with the jade on the back.
Yes,
that's so badass.
that's beautiful. Well, at an event, somebody actually dropped my Athens medal onto my
What?
Beijing medal,
There's
and
a
it
little
cracked.
crack.
No, cracked jade?
Yeah,
Can you
it's
take
just-
it into K Jewelers and have them like maybe
There's
fix
no,
it for you?
like,
Exactly.
hotline. There's no like metal insurance. I can't be like, hey China, can I get a new one? But you know what? My
was it
medals
made in
have
China?
seen my medals have seen like thousands of kids' hands, and I would rather have the jade cracked than them like collecting dust and pristine on a shelf.
No,
and,
they're
you know,
it's
never
incredible.
expiring.
It's incredible.
I've been fortunate to see.
Inspires kids, radio hosts, everybody.
Exactly.
Guys who can't swim.
Guys
There
who
you
can't
go.
swim. I'm not going to let you touch them because, well, you're not swimming. Now, obviously, once you're finished as a professional swimmer, you still swim regularly, right? I would think. Not in competition, but just, do you have a pool in your backyard?
No.
No?
No. You know, I think a lot of swimmers feel the same way. Like, once you've done it, like, you did it.
It's
and
over, right?
It's over, yeah. But, like,
But when you go to the
get
beach, you still go swimming.
I do,
yeah. Okay.
you know, in a tropical climate, you know, but, like, right now, you know, we're in Minnesota. It's, like, 5 degrees outside.
I know,
the
I
last
know.
thing
I'm not talking
anybody
about
wants
here.
to do
So you
is,
didn't sign up for the polar plunge?
I didn't. No, that's not
Have
my
you ever
jam.
done that? Have you ever, like,
I
jumped
have.
cold water? Because
Yeah.
when you're
I
a
mean,
swimmer, you have to be used to all those conditions.
Literally every day as a swimmer, the worst part about swimming is just getting in. It's just freezing cold every. You
Does
get
it-
out of bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, nice toasty warm bed, and then jump into an ice cold pool.
How many laps are you swimming a day? Just during practice, how many laps?
I don't know how many laps. Around probably 7,000, 8,000 yards, meters.
Wow. I can't even walk that far.
I can
anymore
drive
now.
that far.
But I'm old.
A couple miles a day.
What?
So now your specialty, so you won these in freestyle?
Yes, my specialty was 50 and 100 freestyle. So I'm a sprinter, and I'm 6 feet tall. Sprinters tend to be a little bit taller. And
Yes.
I was lucky to swim the 50 free at 3 Olympic Games.
Now I want to get into what you're doing now, which is even better than swimming, which is
Yes.
helping other people, which is
Yes.
great when you're a great athlete and you've completed your career mission, and then you know, hey, I got other things I can do now other than jumping in a
Absolutely.
pool.
Yeah, well, I found once I retired from swimming, I started to work with a lot of teenage girls in town. I live in Denver, Colorado. And all these girls, I mean, their parents would bring them to me for a lesson, and they would be like, hey, you know, I know we got 30 minutes in the pool, but honestly, can you just talk to her? I don't even care if she swims. Can you just try to talk? Like, I've tried, but... and so after doing that for a couple years, I realized, like, hey, I can create a place where everyone can come to me. And I might not have all the answers, but I have some friends that do. And so I created Lead Sports Summit for girls, and it's for teenage girl swimmers ages 13 to 18. And we bring in Olympic champions like
That is
Missy Franklin,
awesome.
Elizabeth Beisel. We have nutritionists, confidence coaches, and we do like really fun activities, panel discussions, like intimate Q&A, breakout sessions. We have like all like crazy cool sponsors, like UGG is a sponsor of our event. All the girls get free slippers, and it's an incredible 4-day event, and it is so life-changing. They learn about, you know, how to be more confident, how to speak, you know, leadership skills, things that will carry them through their swimming, but also carry them through life. And swimming is just, it's always just a small part of your life, no matter how far you take it. And everything else, like, this is just a springboard for what's next.
Springboard, I like that. And you're not even a diver. LeadSportsSummit.com is the website, so people can go there. But it's in Denver, though, so it's like a camp that you do it around the country.
So our first event was in Austin, Texas, over Labor Day weekend in 2017, and this year we're in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay,
so
cool.
we had girls fly in from Hawaii, from New York, from all over, and we're bringing in over 100 girls this time.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. So people can get all the information on your website.
LeadSportsSummit.com.
LeadSportsSummit.com. Carolyn, Joyce, don't let me forget your medals.
You can keep them.
I gotta take a picture with them though
Yeah,
before. But I don't take breaks on this show, so I can't. So I'll take them later before you leave.
All
How's
right,
that?
sounds good.
Hey,
We'll
thank you
circle
so
back
much.
around.
Thank you,
It was-
guys.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
This is
Good
awesome.
job. Great stuff. Thank you. Carolyn, Joyce. Let's give her a roaring round of applause, Luigi.
I'm trying.
You can't swim, but at least you can hit a sound effect. Thank you.
I hit a lot of things, Tony.
She is tall, though. And you're right. When you're a freestyle, you know what the key in the freestyle swimming is, right, Robin? To get that arm, that long arm.
It helps when you're like when
to touch the wall first, because that's one. That's 50 meters is one length of the pool.
But I got some other breaking news.
We have breaking news.
More importantly, our pal Jay Ziering.
Oh, Jay is in the house.
Here, and I got Ivan getting the day pass for him so he can bring over some fabulous product from Cantina Laredo, my brother.
Oh, beautiful. And now a guy who just blew me off last night at the media event walked right by me and said, "I don't have time for you, sucker.
All right.
I'm hosting the NFL Network
Wait a second.
Super Bowl
Why
party."
do you think where was I going?
To work. I'm busting
Where
your
was
chuck.
I going? I was going on stage. I had about 90 seconds to get up there. 90 seconds. 9-0. And you know I don't move very quickly, Tony Bruno. All right, man.
No,
How are you?
I'm great, Chris. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a roaring round of applause, Luigi.
Yeah,
the
do we
great
have
Chris
that?
Rose. He's on MLB. He's like everywhere now. You pretty much have covered, other than the digital. Now, are you on a digital platform like I am, too?
I've
I mean,
never
I know
seen
your
before.
shows are all, available
they
online.
they take clips or they'll run a whole show in the case of intentional talk. Yeah. So it's all there. It's all
So
there.
baseball, right as soon as this is done, because you're working at the NFL Network, you're working at MLB Network.
Right.
What other jobs you have now? Are you doing anything with the Cleveland Browns, by the way, to help them, maybe?
I think they finally got the right guy in charge. Go John Dorsey. I've got my John Dorsey pom-poms.
It's amazing how many guys that I've worked with in the media are long-suffering, because, long-suffering Eagle fans,
Right.
but longer-suffering Cleveland Brown fans. At least you got LeBron back and you got an NBA championship.
That's true. That's true. We've got that. We'll always, it's funny.
And the
because
Indians have been good, so.
Yes. And
it's about damn time.
Yeah.
So in 2016 on Father's Day, when we finally won that first championship, and I'm 45 years old at the time, it's the first one of my life.
Wait, that was then? You were 45 then?
Yes.
How old are you now?
Well, come on, do the math. That was.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
I'm 47. Come on, Gundy.
But
Mullet
you're
man.
going to be one of those guys like the Dick Clark generation where you never age.
That's not-
you
it's
look
very
at me
kind
and
of
I'm a
you.
battered, broken performer.
No, you've looked like a human thumb ever since I've known you.
Well,
And that's
thank
been
you,
over
thank
20
you.
years.
And
so.
then same with all the guys from the old Best Damn Sports Show days.
Yeah.
I go back and forth with Tom Arnold all the time. You never go back. I always throw a little shot at you, but you never respond. You and Siciliano now never respond to any of my great tweets towards you.
Well, that's
Are you
not
following me, by the way, on Twitter?
I'm almost positive I am.
I don't know about
well,
that.
I will by the end of the interview. Let me see.
Okay,
here.
because that's unacceptable.
Don't make it unacceptable.
That's one of my
Then you're
major
making me
things.
be this guy. Like last night I blew you off. Now I'm not following you on
I'm
Twitter.
kidding.
For God's sakes.
Don't make him any angrier than he already is, Chris, please. Please.
I'm not angry.
I only have to deal with him 8 minutes every year.
I would appreciate it, man. Thanks.
I'm not angry. I'm from Philly. I mean, that's just
So are you excited?
Of course I'm excited. Well, this is my 29th Super Bowl, so I come to the Super Bowl because I love doing this every year. But now that the Eagles are following me along, it's fun, because you always root for your team. And I'm a fan, but I'm not a blatant homer. Like when the Eagles were in it in Jacksonville when I was out in L.A.,
right?
We all went down there. We went to New Orleans. We did a lot of great Super Bowl shows back in the day. And it's fun. It's always different. It's always fun. You have to enjoy this too, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, the NFL Network, it doesn't get any better than that, does it?
No, it's awesome. I mean, we've got 85 live hours of coverage this week. It's insane. So it's great. You get to see a lot of familiar faces. I think it's fun when there's new teams in it, like Philly. I thought it was kind of enjoyable to see them soak in the atmosphere last night. I thought they did, and I actually thought that the Patriots, to be honest with you, enjoyed themselves more than I've seen in recent years.
Were you surprised that the fans were booing everything Eagles, including their children
No.
that they brought up?
No, they weren't booing those little Norse children. They were booing the Eagles, which I understand.
I get booing the fans, but not booing the players.
Why?
Because you don't hate the players, you hate the game.
Stop it.
Right?
They just.
I think wasn't it Michael Irvin that said that on Best Damn once?
I hear you.
By the way, how about Michael's suit last night?
Oh God,
that was the greatest suit ever.
I wish you could have been in the green room. So Michael was running a little late. He wasn't feeling great. He had gone to the doctor, and he walks in, not only in that suit. I got to get this picture for you, Bruno.
I went
know
over
it's
to
not
him.
gonna, It's not going to be great.
No,
radio.
I got pictures with Mike. I ran over and grabbed him.
Not the suit.
Oh, the coat?
The coat.
He gave me props on my suit, though.
Yeah, Luigi was wearing a nice double
Yeah,
breasted.
it was the fur coat from the 90s that we all remember.
Oh,
He walks into the green room. He goes, we all look at him. We're like, Mike, you okay? He goes,
I had to bring it out of retirement. I had to. You're not going to do it in Miami. You're going to do it here in Minnesota where it's 1 degree out.
Oh, my God.
It's a great. So he actually, boy, he must have had a big bag. He must have had a gigantic, what do they call those things with the baggage when you used to put them on the trains? Trunks. He had to have a trunk just for his stuff, right?
You got stuck on the word trunk?
Trunk, yeah. I couldn't think of what they call because nobody uses trunks anymore.
It's been a long day.
Except Murder on the Orient Express. That's when I think of trunks. I think of people taking big trunks on trains when they go across country.
He is one of a kind. He is one of a kind.
Michael, oh, yeah, he's one of my favorite people on earth.
I love him.
That suit, man. Now, because we saw Michael wear crazy clothes, but we had our own. We had wardrobe though when we were doing Best Damn.
Yes.
You know, I still have.
We still do.
I still have the clothes that I wore on Best Damn Sports Show. I still have belts that fit me. I have shirts that fit me. The pants now a little bit bigger now, but it's unbelievable.
No way, Bruno.
Yeah, it even has my initials on it. Remember we had initials on all our clothes?
What sort of medication are you taking to get in those pants?
Nothing. I'm just trying not to get fat. You don't come here for 10 days and there's food all around.
That's true. That's true. How many times have you hit Shake Shack?
None.
No.
None. Can you believe that? It's an hour. However, we do have some special delivery right behind us from Cantina Laredo.
Have you been to
Cantina
Cantina Laredo?
Fresh tableside guacamole.
You want some tableside guac?
Oh, it's good.
Oh, it's good, huh?
We got tableside. Yeah, by the way, have you heard of Fin Optics?
Is that a fat joke?
No.
The greatest. Could you need glasses to read up close?
No, not yet.
Really?
Take these because
you're over 40 though, right?
I know. I'm well
That's
over
great
40.
vision.
How did you manage that? Because usually at 40, it's like bam.
Yeah, it's over.
See what it is? Because you know when
I
you
can
go
see
out,
everything.
when you start having a hard time in bars and you don't have your glasses with you, you just pull them off. They're attached to your phone. Stick them on like this.
Oh, my God.
And then you read down and you can see.
Are you
awesome.
serious?
Yeah,
Yes.
no, it's awesome.
And
it's
then
like
you
the
take
best
them
invention
everywhere.
ever.
Fin Optics.
Wait, are
Great
those
company.
different prescriptions?
No, they're all like basic.
all
There's
one?
150
It's a
to
baseline?
200.
You can wear them if you are anywhere between like 1.25 and 3.
Here, slide one on. Look at all the different cases that they have that you can
know
put
what's
on your
crazy
phone,
is-
man. They have everything.
You know
Military.
what? I'm going to take one of these for my wife because she does need.
Absolutely.
Needs
I
these.
have a special
We have
women's
ladies
edition.
stuff.
You do? You have
Yes.
Oh, I like
What do you
this.
think we are here? Remember when we used to
This
do
is like
shows?
one-stop shopping.
This
is
is,
great.
man. You're going to get some
Well, we are at the
tableside
mall.
guac. What else do you need, Chris? Because we take care of our guests on the show.
this is unreal.
We're not like these all schlep shows here.
Bruno, oh, gosh, you're the best.
Look at our set here. What do you notice between our setup and the rest of Radio
Oh,
Row?
yeah, sponsorships.
And not only that, look at the
this
space.
is nice.
Look at the space we have here.
You can relax
See,
here.
This is why everybody
king of-
loves Bruno.
King of
Hey, man,
Radio
it's
Row.
good. Hey, it's good to be the king.
Jim Rome called me the king of Radio Row years ago.
That's true.
And I'm continuing that streak.
What number Super Bowl is this for you?
29.
29.
29. And I missed a couple. I should be in the 30s because 19, the 79, the Rams Steelers Super
In
Bowl
Pasadena.
79 was the first Super Bowl I went to, and then I went to the Eagles the following year.
Right.
And I had a streak going through the 80s, and then I missed a couple. And then when I went to ESPN in the 90s, I went every year. And then at Fox, I went every year. And then I missed Indy. I missed once, and then I've been at every one since then. It's
unreal.
It's a tradition unlike any. It's sort of like the Rose Bowl used to be, or the Skins game. Remember when the Skins game?
That's good.
So now, what are your plans now for you're going to be here through the whole thing, right?
Yeah, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we've got Super Bowl Prime. So that's Dion, LT, and myself. We'll have a ton of guests piling through that, and that happens at 9 o'clock Eastern.
And that's going to be at the stadium, right? Where
No,
are
I
you doing?
think
You guys are all over the place.
Yeah, we're all over the place. We've got multiple sets all over the place. And then Saturday is probably my most enjoyable assignment. I get to interview the Hall of Famers right after they get in.
Oh, beautiful.
So, they walk out on stage at NFL Honors. They bring them backstage.
Do you
and I
get to bro hug them like the commissioner would do?
Yeah, well, it depends on the person. Last year there was a lot of bro hugging because we had 3 of our own go in with
Exactly.
Kurt, LT, and TD, and that was really special.
Now, Ray Lewis is a lock, right?
Yes,
There's no doubt about it.
He's the only one that's a lock.
Yes.
Now,
who else gets in? Give me your guesses right now, Chris.
So
Not
out of the-
educated guesses,
No,
of course.
so there's 15 modern era finalists vying for 5 spots, and there are 5 offensive linemen, right? So, and it's interesting. You got a center, 2 guards, and 2 tackles. So you got Baselli and Jacoby outside.
And Baselli's a lock.
No, he's not a lock.
You don't think Tony Baselli's a lock?
Not really.
I think I think TD getting in last year immensely helps his case.
Right.
But I don't think he
I
made
don't mean
the
for
top.
this year. I mean eventually he's going to get in.
Well, you asked me who's getting in this week.
Oh, okay. I just don't want you to think when I say lock, I don't mean first ballot this year lock. Okay.
No, Steve Hutchinson is a guy that could squeeze in there on his first time. You know, he was a very, very good player. There's 4 defensive backs. I thought Brian Dawkins was getting in last year, to be honest with you.
But don't you think John Lynch gets in this year? Because, I mean, there's a lot of good defensive backs, as you mentioned, safeties. And Brian Dawkins is going to get in. The question is, does he get in this year or does Lynch? Because they're not going to take three defensive backs.
Who do you think was a better player?
I mean, they were both great players.
Right. I mean, if you're making the top 15, you're a damn good football player. And there's not much that separates the guys. I think Dawkins was probably a little bit better in coverage.
Mm-hmm.
They were both ferocious against the run.
Absolutely.
You could do a lot with them. I would guess, I think, the more people I'm talking to, I think they lean toward Dawkins.
Oh, wow. And then Philly fans will be excited. Now, what about T.O.?
I don't think he gets in.
I don't think he gets in this year.
And I think it's wrong. I don't think
wrong.
It's good optics for that room. He didn't make the top 10 last year either. And it's really going to be a problem when Randy Moss
Exactly.
makes it and he
it's really sad because, again, we talk about on the field or off the field. There's no doubt Terrell Owens is one of the greatest receivers of all time.
Is that the argument against him is that on the field extends into the locker room, and I think you have a real hard time when you're making that leap. Sure, you're going to talk to guys who hated him and felt like he was disruptive force, but you're going to talk to a lot of guys that were teammates of his that said every Sunday from 1 to 4, that guy balled his,
Yeah. And the other thing is weird because I saw T.O. tweeted out that the reason he wasn't on the Eagles anymore is because Donovan McNabb didn't want him on the Eagles. So he's saying this stuff publicly on Twitter, and that has to hurt his cause too, right?
Well, yeah, now this is a different argument. Now you're expecting T.O. to kind of fall in line, and that's never been his way, right?
I'm thinking if you're pimping for votes and you want to finally go over the edge, not that a lot of people, think Donovan McNabb is the end-all, be-all, but when you're dissing a guy when you played in a Super Bowl game when you were hurt and you played great for that team, and then you say the reason that you weren't there anymore is because the quarterback didn't want you there, it's the court of public opinion, which has a lot to do with this. In fact, most of it has to do with the court of public opinion, does it not?
I don't know. I'm not going to go that far. These writers that vote, and now it's Dan Fouts and James Lofton are in the room as well, bringing the number to 48. They do their research. They talk to a lot of people. They don't just get in there with.
Are they better than the baseball writers who play guys?
It's so no. It's so different. And that's not fair either because the baseball. Listen,
the baseball writers seem that they don't want to put guys in.
Well,
Football
that's not true. They
want walking ambassadors.
No, over the last 5 years, they put 16 people in. That's the most in a 5-year stretch in the history of that sport. And I'm happy that we're getting 4 every year. And
because it seemed for a long time that they would 1 or 2 guys would go in, and then have the Veterans Committee vote a guy in.
Hey, the year that Bonds and Clemens were first year on the ballot, so this was their 6th year, nobody got in. And that was, I thought, one of the saddest days in baseball history.
Absolutely.
How can you not have anybody go into your Hall of Fame and feel good about it?
I agree. That's why I'm critical of it.
Yeah, well.
I think football does it right. They have walking ambassadors who are always out schmoozing.
Yep.
They don't wait till guys die and say, oh, it's a shame he didn't get in. But he wasn't a Hall of Famer when he played 50 years ago. But now he's dead, so he's a Hall of Famer.
I think it's really changed over the last 5 years.
It's an outrage, Chris, and you know it.
Oh, there it is. Thank you. There it is. I was waiting for. Wait a minute. We had to go about 13 minutes before I got one of those.
Wait, you know how long the segment's going?
That's all right. I just try to keep track in my head.
All right, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, so who do you like? Quick pick.
We actually have some breaking news.
We have breaking news?
That Chris Rose might be interested in because, as you know, the Eagles fans that cannot get a ticket to the game are having a hard time finding an Eagles designated bar because establishments have bought into the whole media that they don't want Eagles fans congregating.
Right.
Well, we now can officially announce that Tony Bruno.
Oh, you're getting this news. I want you to go right on the set of NFL, break into Andrew Siciliano's segment.
Yes.
And report this breaking news to the nation, to football fans.
Let her get through it.
Is going to be hosting the only officially designated Eagles bar party, viewing party on Super Bowl Sunday at Town Hall Brewery downtown on Washington.
Beautiful.
Right here in Minnesota.
Chris?
I want to see multiple cameras. I want multiple avenues.
That's good business.
I'll do POV. I'll put a camera on and then go live on NFL Network. How's that?
That's what I'm talking about.
How's that?
That's good
because
business.
there'd be a lot of fans, that every year they come to the town of the Super Bowl and they can't get tickets. So where do they go to look for a bar?
See, I never understand that. Why would you want to?
You want to be there.
This is a wonderful city. I understand it if it's tropical and warm. You want to get out of Philly for a little while. Like I would come to Minneapolis May through October. I mean, I think it's an awesome place.
You grew up in Cleveland, so you're not like a Southern California guy who grew up in the sun.
Listen,
it's the whole experience, though, the entire week leading up to it.
Is it
and
really?
Yeah, I mean.
You mean all the parties you can't get into?
Well, I mean, it's old hat for people like you, but for somebody that's been waiting for this day to come around their entire life, and all of a sudden now they can be a part of it.
Listen, I've always talked about that with my brothers. I said if the Browns are ever fortunate enough to make it this point, and let's just working on putting a winning streak together during the regular season before we get to even talk about that. But if the Browns ever make it, would we go to the Super Bowl? And I said, I don't think so. I mean,
when you work for the NFL Network,
hopefully I would still be working. But I'm just saying, if we were just fans, I said, nah, I think we would all just kind of watch it together.
And that's what a lot of people do. No doubt about it.
See, I would rather be around the people that mean the most to me than to be with a bunch of strangers. That's just me.
I hear you. Chris, thanks so much for coming
Town Hall Brewery.
That'll be good for them.
Can you break into the NFL? Can you run a crawl on the bottom, get Ian Rappaport or all the other guys on it? Get
Because
Michael
fans
Silver.
they're looking for a home here in Minneapolis, and now they have one.
So there's not much breaking news, that happens here.
All right, so if Michael Silver comes on the air anytime in the near future, he'll go, Andrew, I have breaking news. This has just come to me from the outstanding broadcaster, Tony Bruno. I believe that the only Eagles bar that will be in Minneapolis this Sunday, exclusively showing the Super Bowl, will be the Town Hall. Is that on Washington?
Yes,
Brewery.
it is.
Town Hall Brewery.
We have two sources to confirm it now, so you can run with it.
And I just got off the phone with Hugh Jackson, who has confirmed this report. Andrew, back to you.
It's good to see you, man. Thanks so much. I'm getting the wrap-up signal.
You got it.
I'm getting it. She's mad at me now, even though I see her every year.
Oh, God. You got the stink eye from Sarah.
Yeah, I did.
Sarah,
right.
she has
Chris,
a good
great
stink
to see
eye.
you, brother.
All right.
Thanks
Bye,
so
guys.
much. There he is, the great Chris Rose. Give him a roaring round of applause, Luigi. He's no longer an outrage. And he got, and we have some tableside guac if you want to. We're going to set it up right there. Jay is here. We're going to set it up right here.
Yeah, we're going to set it up right here.
We got room for guac.
He's here because of me.
You want to grab a little quick guac here, just freshly made. This is tableside guac. This isn't generic supermarket guac. This is great guac. And ain't no guac, Luigi.
Tony, I'm so excited to be able to tell people that we are going to be
Jay, sit down, Jay.
the party for Eagles fans that can't get into the game.
It's official. I mean, you don't get this kind of breaking news on
Town
Radio
Hall
Row
Brewery,
normally.
baby.
Jay, are you excited?
It's all the same.
This is one of my dreams come true right here, being right here in the middle of Radio Row. With my
And
man
serving
Tony Bruno.
tableside guac.
Whatever you can fit in that bowl, my friend, right there.
You want me to put it all in there?
You can save it for later.
Save
Save it for later, man.
I'm going
Absolutely.
to grab some chips.
Does it travel well?
Honestly, to be completely honest with you, no, it doesn't travel.
They might as well
too
put it in there. We'll have people just
put it in there. Let's
in the bowl.
Put it up.
Anybody comes by, not only are we giving them thin optics,
Oh.
we're giving them tableside guac from Cantina Laredo right here in the Mall of America.
Courtesy of the great Jay Ziering over here.
Jay Ziering, who we met in Philly, and since then, he's traveled the world, and he wound up here, September, right?
Traveled the world. Yeah, since September. I've been here for about 6 months now here at Mall of America.
And so then we get here, and as soon as we drive in from the airport, I see Cantina Laredo. So we called our buddy at Cantina Laredo, King of Prussia in the Philly area, Brian, and said, Brian, there's a Cantina Laredo here. We have to have dinner. And then he tells Luigi, hey, Jay is in charge there now. I'm like, dude. So we went in, and it was a great meal.
I wouldn't say in charge. I'm acting like I'm in charge here, but I'm having a great time. Great staff here in Mall of America. Some familiar faces and stuff like that, but it's a great company to work for. I'm loving it. I'm loving it here in Mall of America. Really exciting time though as well.
These chips are hot.
Oh, they're just fresh out?
Fresh out there, honestly. And
it's not really good to eat on the air, but I want people to pretend they're me right now.
Hey,
and if
listen.
you've been to the Cantina Laredo locations all over the place, people listening all over, you know how great the tableside guac is. It is phenomenal.
Hey, listen, if it's any good, I made it personally, but if it's terrible, I got to admit that it was one of our servers who made it.
This is really good. Are you kidding me? I feel like Andrew Zimmer now on Bizarre Foods, although this isn't bizarre.
We saw Anthony Bourdain on the way in.
Anthony
Bourdain's here, huh?
Uh-huh.
Unbelievable.
Andrew Zimmer's here, and he lives in Minnesota. You know Andrew Zimmer on Bizarre Foods?
I'm familiar, yeah.
delicious destinations.
Oh, I got a big.
Well, look at Robin has to get a whole pound of it on one chip.
Load it up.
I'm just saying,
Load it up.
I would just eat plain avocado.
She yells at me, I help her all the time. I help her get all that avocado.
I only get a little. I'm not one of these people who goes into an avocado bowl and then like puts like 50 pounds on it, and then there's no chips left.
Hey,
and you still got guac.
It's the chip to guac ratio is very, very important. It's
Okay.
very, very, very.
This one's even better than the other one that we
Even
have.
better? Even better?
better.
Well, then I have to admit, I made this myself.
We got a 3 mil 7 bushel bag full of chips over there,
And
man.
listen, Luigi, I hooked you up with a whole big thing of roasted tomatillo salsa that you enjoy as well. Made sure I had all that in there for you as well.
Well,
so.
wait, there's more.
No.
If you're a fan,
this
you don't just have to be an Eagles fan.
Nope.
But if you're listening to the podcast and you're here at Mall of America the rest of this week, you know we gave a couple away yesterday, courtesy of Jay and Cantina Laredo here.
We have gift cards.
Wait, let Jay explain. You're eating.
Sorry.
All right, listen. So
damn good. It's so good.
You pop on into the Tony Bruno show. I've given him some free top shelf guacamole made tableside, courtesy of our shout out to a couple of our buses, Eugenia.
So you come in, you automatically get tableside guac.
Tableside guac, boom, serves up to 2 to 4 people. 2 avocados, fresh cilantro, onion, tomato, lime juice, our fresh secret spice, top shelf guacamole spice.
Plenty
made
cilantro.
tableside. Oh. And then as well, I gave you guys a couple coupons for those casaritas.
Casaritas, baby.
Casaritas.
And she's not working the main stage at the local establishment
She'll
tonight.
be on the side stage. But think about that. You stop by the show. All you got to do is come over, say hello to us. And the fans have been pouring in from all over the place. You got your tableside guac and a casarita. Start you off right there. Boom, you're already flying.
Explain the casarita because it's
listen,
a margarita.
a lot of people are hesitant to order the house margarita at a local Mexican establishment.
Normally, they have a lot of that sweet, that sour sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever they call it.
The sour mix.
The sour mix, and it's
That's
nasty.
not a real guac. That's not a real margarita.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. Here at Cantina Laredo, we offer our top shelf casarita. It's our house margarita. It's only $6 for happy hour. It's made with fresh squeezed, hand squeezed lemon and lime juice. Shout out to a couple of our bartenders, Jackie and Angie and Santiago. They put their blood, sweat, and tears in these margaritas.
And the margarita has the lime that's inverted, the lime skin.
That's the flip.
Oh, that's a whole different thing.
That's the combo flip, bro.
Combo flip.
That's my
I'm
go-to.
sorry.
Yeah, plenty of margarita options at Cantina Laredo. We got the casarita, the Cabo flip,
The
whole bunch
Cabo
of.
flip is like the house margarita, but it has an added feature.
But not the, now normally, Tony would be doing a lot of talking about a lot of these places, but Cantina Laredo, especially in KOP, is like it's like my playground over there. These guys have some of the most unbelievable top shelf tequilas you will find anywhere, and you can find them right here at the Mall of America too. I mean, the selection of tequila, the añejos, the reposados are through the roof, man. The stuff you can't get, they got. So if you're a connoisseur, you like tequila, or you just like to drink and have a good time, seriously, Cantina Laredo, that's the place you got to go, man.
Well, it's too bad. Like Mike Quick, we saw him. I haven't seen him yet today.
Dude,
now he is a tequila aficionado.
He really is. Mike Quick, the former wide receiver and now radio broadcaster on the Eagles games.
He desperately wanted to come to the last tequila dinner that was back at King of Prussia Mall in Philadelphia, but was unable to make it. So we were hoping that he would be able to make it down here while he's here, but I haven't run into him today.
I saw him yesterday, but he'll be back. We'll take him over. We'll have to have a.
See, he's a tequila aficionado.
Oh, bring him over.
Cantina Laredo officially loves tequila. That's the difference, man.
It's official. It's a place. So here at Cantina Laredo Mall of America.
Are you reading from a prepared statement?
Oh, absolutely. We got over 70 different tequilas. Okay, this is my first gig here, man.
If you're into tequila, everything must be ad-libbed. Come on, man. Seriously.
Can you name every tequila that you have at Cantina Laredo?
Oh, we have over 70 different tequilas. A couple of my favorites are Clase Azul, top shelf tequila. It's my favorite, Clase Azul Reposado. I know you guys are very adamant about your Chamucos tequila.
The Chamucos Blanco, or the silver, which is the one that's not the most top shelf. You got the Reposados, you got the double añejos, you got the añejos. That was the best silver I've ever had.
Oh, yeah.
The Blanco.
Oh, it's the cleanest, smoothest silver you'll possibly find.
It's amazing. Because that's usually not the best of the tequilas when you start going up the food chain of the.
It's smoother than Cara's silver medals, bro. That's how smooth that silver is. Seriously.
Absolutely.
No tarnish on those.
No tarnish on that. No tarnish on the Chamucos.
Did you see our Olympic double silver medal winners?
I have not.
She was just on here. She's 6 foot tall. She's an Olympic.
She's
going to wearing her silver medals.
What?
She's going to teach me how to swim.
Man, I'll tell you what, there's so many big names around here that I can't even keep track with who's famous, who isn't anymore. I'm just treating everybody like Like they're
family.
superstars right now. I'm
You
like
even
a-
treat
a
us like
kid
we're
in a-
superstars, okay?
Well,
Well, you
speaking
guys
of
are superstars. Let's be real.
speaking of treating like family, we now should invite him to the
Now,
Tony.
are you
Bruno-
working Sunday over at Cantina Laredo?
I am. Unfortunately, I am working on Sundays, Cantina Laredo. However, our hours are until late at night, so I might be able to pop in. I have no idea where this is going.
We've announced our official Super Bowl party. We have a location now.
Yeah, you guys are telling me. Did you decide on a location?
Yes, it is at Town Hall Brewery on Washington Avenue, and it is.
That's a good place. I've been there a couple times.
So
Really fun.
They are the pioneers of craft beer in Minnesota. They're just a few blocks from the Bank Stadium, U.S. Bank Stadium. They have craft beer, big bourbon, great cocktails, scratch food, including the amazing Brewers Double Burger.
Oh, beautiful, man.
So it is going to be an awesome, awesome location
Are you
to
Jack,
watch
Luigi, or
the
what?
game. And
I'm yoked, bro.
They
Are you
have.
yoked?
He's yoked.
I'm yoked.
Are you woke?
I'm always woke, and I always keep it 100, Tony.
Are
know
you
that.
lit?
Yes, of
It's
course,
going to
bro.
be lit on Sunday. It is absolutely going to be lit on
I might go
Sunday.
to Cantina and get lit tonight. You can stop by. Stop by the show, get yourself
We're
a
doing
free
the
margarita,
party. The
hang out
party's
with us,
down
right?
here tonight. You know, the
Party's
media
back
party.
here? Yeah?
The big media private party. But
Hey,
we'll
man,
get
this
you
is my
in.
one day off this week. Let's
We'll
make
get you
it
in.
happen.
I'll get you in.
You're going to get me in?
Yes.
You get me in, I'm going to get you chamucos on Friday.
Oh,
Make sure you can come check us out
man.
at Cantina Laredo. I'll make sure it's all in there for you guys. Absolutely.
So if you're coming to Minnesota and you're in the Mall of America, got to go to Cantina Laredo. All the locations. King of Prussia is our favorite place. And now we're here, and there's one right down the food court from us
As
here.
soon as we drove in, we were like, where are we going for dinner? Cantina.
Boom. Hop,
Done.
skip, and a jump right there.
Whether Jay was there or not, we would have gone there.
But
Definitely.
it doesn't
You
hurt. It doesn't hurt to have them there.
Dude, that's
No.
there's the kick on the back end of that.
Yeah. Now,
God,
I'm not
that
a
guac
big
is so
spice
good.
guy,
I love it, dude. It's
but this has
perfect.
got this is the perfect kick.
Hey, I made sure I didn't put any onions in that guacamole for you. I remember that you didn't like that. So.
That's service right there.
It's
man.
absolutely,
Everybody-
absolutely.
People are saying, you shouldn't be eating on air. You know what we say to that, Tony?
Fafangul, huh?
When
Exactly
you got
right,
this kind
man.
of guac on the table,
I'm sorry, I'm hungry. Oh, look, we have a little. What kind of dog is that, Robin?
That's a little.
what kind of dog is that?
It's the
kind- is that
Pomeranian.
Yeah, the Pomeranian who have the cutest faces. They're the most adorable.
Oh.
They look like they're just
17 years
It
old.
looks like,
What was
it
the
looks
really
like a mini
famous-
version of a husky.
What was the famous
They're-
one
they're
that
a
you
pom.
interviewed?
There was a Palm who was at the Super Bowl in Radio Row a couple years
What was
ago,
his
and I
name
interviewed
again?
him. He was like, what was his name? Something Palm. He was great.
Oh,
He
yeah,
was a little
he was
kid-
like
he was a
he
kid.
was
He
a
was a puppy.
virtual. He was a video phenom. Pomeranian, famous Pomeranian. What was his
So
name?
Super Bowl Pomeranian. Look it up. This dog. More people were interviewing the dog than celebrities.
That's good radio right
It
there.
really was.
That's
Jif.
100% good radio.
Jif.
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 Jif
It was
Palm.
Jif Palm. That was his name.
But her
Jif
outfit's
Palm.
Palm.
Her outfit's like a cross between like Tito Jackson and Crocodile Dundee, though, man. It's kind of
Jif
it's
Palm.
very feng shui. It's very,
I wonder what Jif Palm's doing these days.
He's probably on Radio Row somewhere. We got to find him.
I don't know. He
That's all.
probably
Probably
retired.
got to be around here somewhere.
Exactly.
I thought I saw him over there near the NFL Network.
So, Jay, who do you like in the game? Now, even though you worked in Philly, you're from Virginia.
Man, I'm going to get in trouble if I'm not
Washington-
neutral here.
That's Redskin territory, right?
That's
And
Redskin
Raven.
territory.
And Raven territory, right? More
Redskins
than
and Ravens and Nationals and Orioles, a whole deal there.
Get out!
I'm same division as the beloved Eagles here, but, since I spent 6 years in Philly, I just talked to the man Brandon Lang myself from
Brandon
that movie
Lang.
back in the day.
Two for the
Two
money.
for the money, absolutely.
Remember what he said.
And,
if they say Rocky on the prop bet, plus 180, take it to the bank, dude.
to the bank,
To the bank.
I got to say he was pretty confident about the straight-up bet
Yeah,
with
he
the
really
Eagles.
is.
Pretty confident. He's going around here
And he
telling
doesn't
everybody.
normally release that.
You get,
Oh,
you get-
absolutely not. I think I might have just got in trouble a little bit.
No,
by
no,
telling
no.
his
He
bet.
did it. No, he did it on the show.
Oh, no, he
absolutely.
did. He came out here and told us, said he likes the Eagles straight up outright to win the game. Forget the points, just take the money line. And he also loves the prop bet on will Al Michaels mention Rocky at all.
There's no bigger lock than that.
It's
That's a
plus
lock.
180.
180?
Vegas is giving
Plus
away money.
one-
Let me get my phone out.
Yeah,
I'm about
get
to put
the
that
phone
bet
out.
now. I'm about to put that bet
In
down
fact,
now.
when I talk to Al tomorrow here at Radio Row, would it be unfair if I tipped him off to mentioning Rocky so that I could cover a plus 180 bet?
Well, I think if he doesn't mention
Oh.
it, he's been tipped off. I'll tell you that
Would
right now.
that be insider trading?
No, it's a podcast. We're not under those rules,
fine
Tony.
line. It's a fine
You're right.
line.
We do whatever the hell we
We're
want
not.
here.
We're like pirates, dude.
We
I'll tell you
are.
what.
It's
I got
pirate radio.
I got one lock that I'm feeling pretty good about.
What is it?
That's Brent Selleck, 5.5 receptions. He's going to get that in the first half.
I'll take that action.
Brent Selleck.
I think Brent Selleck won't have more than 3 catches in this game.
You think he's going to have 5.5 catches?
in the first half.
No
my
way.
friend. In the
No,
first half.
wow. You can probably
Side
get
bet,
good
Jag?
odds on that.
Side bet?
I think so.
Side
I think
bet?
so, Luigi.
All right, Tony. We just got ourselves some free dinner over there at Cantina because there's no way Brent Selleck's going over 5 catches in this game.
Is that an actual real one, or are you making that up?
5.5. Trey Burton will have more catches than
he won't.
Than Brent Selleck. Yes,
Brent
he will.
Selleck's the you know who he's the longest tenured Eagle. He and Jason Kelsey are the longest tenured Eagles.
You know what? I misspoke. It was Zach Ertz.
Oh, Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz.
You can take that to the
Brent
bank.
Selleck is slower than me.
5.5.
The reason why it's so low.
Zach Ertz that's a good. Not Brent Selleck. Nobody's
Brent
going to have Brent Selleck
No.
with 5.5 catches.
The reason why is because obviously that number's still low. It's going to be a little bit hard to get. Is because Belichick, he's the one guy they got to take away. So a lot of the defensive focus will go on Zach Ertz. It might be a little bit tough to get there, but I can still see him having 7-8 receptions. He should be okay with 7-8 receptions. But Brent Selleck, I would love to see Brent Selleck have a huge game. Being there the longest, Tony, he deserves it, man. He deserves it more than any other Eagle.
By the way, I got a good little
what do you got?
tidbit. Do you know that we saw Alshon Jeffrey last night?
Yeah.
And you know who else we saw? Stephon Gilmore.
Yes.
Do you know what they have in common?
No.
They were roommates in college at South Carolina.
Were they really?
And they're such good friends that Alshon Jeffrey was one of his groomsmen.
No.
In Gilmore's wedding.
I did not know that,
That's how
Clark.
tight these guys are. And guess who's going to be covering?
Are they going head-to-head?
Alshon Jeffrey.
Stephon Gilmore.
Stephon Gilmore.
Wow.
So here you go. There's
No
a
better
little,
groomsman
there's a
gift
little
than,
Super Bowl nugget that you're not getting anywhere else. How do you like that?
Yeah, but he's his groom. He wasn't his best man.
No, he's a groomsman, though.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's pretty
You
close.
can crap on a groomsman. It's fine. You can't
Yeah,
crap on a
but
best
those
man.
guys are college roommates, though.
I know.
So it's not like you grew up together. You went to college together. And so you're going to be tight with your college roommate, and you're going to have him be one of your groomsmen.
Listen, the players don't hate each other. They're friendly, but when they go on the field, they're going to be professional. And they want to win more than anybody else.
Exactly
so
right.
There's Brandon Lang right over there.
Yes, he is. Well, who did he come over to first?
Us, Tony, of course.
When I came back from our little NBC thing, came right over to me and said, Tony, I got to tell you, man, I'm telling you, the Eagles are going to win this game. And I'm like, Brandon, that's exactly what I've been saying, but you're Brandon Lang. Although my record's pretty damn good, too, when it comes to big games.
Official. Joe Laurinaitis has officially left Radio Row for the day. Yes, Animal is official. That man has been the busiest man on Radio Row. Period.
I bet you he's done. He said he had 6,000 wrestling matches when he was on with us yesterday in his career. He's done 6,000 radio interviews in the last 2 days.
No doubt about it.
And he didn't have to get hurt or have another concussion doing them, other than listening to the nitwits who were asking him questions on Radio Row. Except this show, of course.
No, because we bring hard-hitting facts, Tony.
You're damn right. Well, Jay?
Dude, thank
we
you
may
so
need
much
more
for
chips.
No, I'll get some more chips.
I bought you plenty of chips.
We got plenty of chips.
Plenty of chips.
You know what else he brought, though? He brought the salsa, the spicy one that I love so much,
Plenty of dips.
Hot sauces in there. We got to go across to the hot sauce store, too. And Luigi's going to do the hot sauce
challenge. He's been walking around, but
I know.
The owner's been walking around, but he hasn't come in yet.
Have you been to the hot sauce store over there, John?
I have. Quite the selection over there. Quite the selection.
Are you a Ghost Pepper or a Reaper fan?
I got to tell you what, I'm a fellow bald guy like yourself there, and if I get that hot, I can't hide. I got to wear a hat, you know?
Yeah.
I start getting the beads of sweat pouring down. And,
it's not a good look.
It's not a good look. It's not. It makes people uncomfortable.
It's for Jay, because how tall are you, Jay?
About 6'4".
So he's 6'4", good-looking guy, single in Minnesota.
Whew.
Damn.
I'll tell you what.
That was a great ad for him.
I'll be
You want to talk about a winning combination? Do you want to talk about a good parlay bet? Jay and the over on Super Bowl weekend here in Minnesota. Is that a good prop bet, Luis?
What's that?
Jay, single, tall, good-looking bald man in Minnesota. Take him and the over on Super Bowl action.
If you're pipping him on this program and we're going on like my stats alone, it's not a good bet.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna keep this badge on the entire time I'm in the mall for the rest of the week.
You got a day pass, my friend.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna wear it the entire week anyways, because this is.
It's not gonna get you in here tomorrow, but they changed the
No, but
colors.
you'll need it tonight for the party down. You won't get in without that.
All right.
You cannot get in.
Yeah, that
it
will
will be
officially get
closed
in the
to the public. And even though you're a high-ranking official here in Mall of America, you will not be allowed in the party.
Today, Jay can come in and dine like media royalty with us and play games and have fun.
Unbelievable.
See that,
Have you been on the roller coasters yet?
I honestly have not been on the roller coasters. I'm a little big. I don't know if I can fit in those roller coasters over there.
Tough. My dad, well, he's a little bit shorter now that he's older, but all my family, the men are really, really tall. They're 6'5" and over.
Long thighs. Long thighs
Yes,
is not a good
it's
thing
tough.
with the
Those
airplanes.
roller coaster rides are tough. Airplane rides are tough.
And finding tall chicks is tough, too.
Oh.
No.
It may look easy.
So, okay,
but
let
it's
me
hard.
ask you this question. As a tall chick myself, please tell me that you actually date tall women, that you're not one of those tall guys that dates short women? Because that's so not fair.
Oh, it's not fair at all. I'd be honest with you. I don't really discriminate.
Okay,
however,
so you're an equal opportunity.
However, you know, I feel like as a tall woman yourself, you're looking more towards the tall men.
Yeah, well,
right?
yeah.
So it's slim pickings, really. It really is. So when that tall woman comes around, honestly, you just gotta embrace it.
Yes.
And you gotta make it happen.
Aren't there taller women in Minnesota though?
There are some tall women in Minnesota. A lot of long legs up here in the bold north.
Well, you know, out
what
of
I'm talking
all the people in the world, the Dutch are the tallest.
Of course they are.
As a nation, they are the tallest.
Of course.
Yeah.
What's the average height for a woman, a Dutch woman?
I was the shortest amongst my
You're
friends.
what, 5'10"? You're
I'm
about my
5'10",
height.
yeah.
You're my height. You're 5'10".
I was the shortest. I was shorty.
You know what they say is that anything above 6 foot, that's it. You consider the Bold North Club.
Exactly.
The Bold North Club above 6 foot because you're here from Minnesota.
It's always part of the Mile High Club.
Well, I did that a long time ago, man.
I can't do that.
I've punched a lot of tickets in my
a lot
life.
of tickets.
I've completed a lot of those bucket list items long before bucket list was cool.
Well, I like the checkerboard and pass. You know
Exactly right, man. Well, Jay, thanks so much, man. We're going to finish this.
Dude, we haven't even put a dent in that thing yet. We've been eating it nonstop. I've already went back for 4 handfuls of chips.
I know. That's the one thing about great guac. You just can't stop eating it. Except Robin, which is it's a miracle that Robin hasn't finished that off.
Because
she will get the scoop.
I'm working.
This is what Robin normally is. I'm doing this for demonstration purposes only. I'm not eating it.
See,
this is what Robin does.
You just took a quarter of an avocado right there.
I have like 1 bite to your guys' 10.
Because we're gluttons.
This is a Robin dip right now, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching this on Facebook
all of my
Live.
guac on 1 chip.
And we'll have like a little bit of guac, and she goes and I'll say, Robin, you only have a little bit of guac. We have 50 chips.
Dip it in there, bro.
You can't have this and then expect us to have more than 5 chips.
Yeah, we're not animals here.
Damn
You know what I mean?
right.
And again, like you see the rest of the programs, the rest of these desks, they're empty. They're empty, Tony. We got product on the table, man.
We got product.
That's what we do
We
here,
need some
brother.
calamari for the table, though.
We
Do
do
you have
some
calamari
calamari.
over there? No, you don't have it.
Unfortunately, we don't got calamari. We got ceviche. Some good ceviche.
Ceviche is good. Tony won't eat ceviche, though.
No, I don't eat that raw stuff.
I love ceviche.
I don't like it. I don't like it, man. Well, Jay, thanks a lot, man.
All right, well,
We
talking
really
about bucket
appreciate
lists, I really appreciate you just scratched something off my bucket list. I've always wanted to be a part of a radio show, and I really, really appreciate it.
Not
guys.
any radio show, though, man.
Not any
The
radio
radio show.
radio show with my man Tony Bruno here, Robin and Luigi. I thank you guys so much. I appreciate
Let's give him a roaring round of
Absolutely.
applause. You need the thin optics. Now you should take these because sooner or later you're going to get older and you're not going to be able to see up close, man.
Yeah, but you're doing the
these are the
schedules.
greatest invention ever. Everybody gets when it comes on the show is a lovely parting gift.
Oh my
and
God.
See, look, you put it on the back of your phone.
Yep.
And when you're in a bar at night and you can't see the tab or you can't see your orders when you're making orders for tequila, you slip these babies on, and then you can read.
Boom.
Instead of having to carry glasses around.
Josh B. Gum says that Tony
Thin
did
optics.
Tony just double dip.
No, I put it back.
We got so much dip here. We're gonna have to double dip.
Double dip.
Thanks.
Or just take a huge scoop like Robin here with a recon chip and.
Thank you. That's the way you do it.
Beautiful. Thanks, Jay.
Thanks.
Thanks again, Jay. Thank you.
I may even drink some tequila this week while I'm here, and I haven't had a sip of tequila.
For the first time today, we are going to have open lines, Tony Bruno.
Let's open up the phone lines.
For anybody that wants to call in and you want to give your information, you want to talk to us about upcoming game, if you're excited about the fact that Tony is hosting the only Eagles-designated viewing party, Super Bowl viewing party here in Minneapolis. Or mini. I guess a lot of the locals call Minneapolis mini around here, right?
And here's the thing. I've hosted Super Bowl parties before. In San Francisco, we had a big party at the Glass House. The Eagles weren't in it. I was just hosting it because fans from all over can come in.
Right.
But here in Minnesota, in Minneapolis or St. Paul, there is not one bar that's been designated an Eagles viewing bar party.
Now,
Robin's doing a lot of great work, and we have a lot of great listeners who are telling us about potential places. And what happened? We got action.
We had a bar that was so excited, and not only that, but the fabulous E-Rock contacted us because his father's out here with the official Eagles drum line.
Oh, yeah.
And they are looking for a location because they don't have tickets to the game.
How about a drum line live? And then we will do Facebook Live from this party to show you what it looks like here in Minnesota while you're in Philadelphia watching the game or wherever you are. And you don't even have to just be an Eagle fan, but certainly this is going to be an Eagle-centric party.
People here in Minnesota will be yelling Skull, and we'll be partying our skulls off here.
Damn right, man. Damn right.
Speaking of great listeners, Tony.
Talk of the, what's the name now? Town
Hall Brewery.
Town Hall Brewery on Washington in downtown Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not far from U.S. Bank Stadium.
It's on Washington South. I actually have the official.
And each day we'll get more details.
Yeah, more and more details will come out.
Yes,
Exactly
it's
right.
if you just go to townhallbrewery.com, you can find but it's located on 1430 Washington Avenue South here in Minnie. And it's located really close to the U.S. Bank Stadium, so it's right there. You're going to be in the thick of things.
And we will behave accordingly and show people that we aren't all animals.
No, but now
Just some of us are.
While we've been on Radio Row, we have to be professional. We can't let the fandom come out too much. But I'm going total fanboy at this place.
There's nothing wrong with being a fan. You
no,
just
I mean
don't
I can't
have to
wear
be
any
an
apparel.
ass.
No, I'm not an ass. I can't wear any
But
apparel.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times, not a lot of times. There are some fans who don't realize that you can still be a fan. You can still show your enthusiasm and fandom without being a jerk to the opposing team.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of fans and fandom and great listeners, we have one of the greatest listeners of all time on the air right now. Because, I mean, I've made my debut on Radio Row, but he has yet to make his debut on Super Bowl 52 Radio Row. And you know who that is, Tony.
What up?
The great Jose is checking in from Norristown.
Norristown, yo.
We've got to give him his due.
Let's get some action. Jose, what up, yo?
What up, Mall of Americas? What up, Bruno's? What up, Miss Robbins? What up, Luigi? What up? What up, Jack and Ruth's?
Jack and Ruth's. That is not one of the Jack and Ruth's is not actually in the food court here. That's one of the few restaurants that's not here, Jack and Ruth's.
Well, you might as well put one over there now.
Now, what's the temperature back in Philly right now? It's supposed to snow today, right, in Philly? Is it snowing?
According to the weather update action, it was snow flurries on the ground today.
So the schools closed, everything
Right
shut
in.
down. Did the city shut down again? I know I was watching Joe Corrado, Forza Corrado, was tweeting earlier today expecting another snowmageddon, which means a dusting to a quarter-inch possible.
It's not that bad what people say. It's just flurries on the ground. It will clear up tonight. But the problem is the ground will freeze a little
Not here in Minnesota, Jose, because they brine the roads constantly here.
Yeah. They don't put down salt pellets. They put down, like, liquid brine.
And what did we see? We saw bobcats, the little bobcats going down the sidewalks, taking all the snow off of the streets, man. It was crazy.
So memo to Mayor Kenny in Philadelphia. And by the way, no potholes in any of the roads or streets in this area.
Clearest, cleanest roads, surfaces I've ever seen, Tony.
And guess what else happens here that happens in Philadelphia? It gets really cold in the winter, and it gets really hot in the summer, which causes potholes to form. But here, for some reason, they don't have the Grand Canyon-like craters that we have in Philadelphia every time it gets cold and goes from cold to warm. I've never seen any other city in the world like Philadelphia, and I'm from there, so I can rip it, and I can rip it hard. It is an outrage, the state of the roads in Philadelphia and vicinity. All right, there's my tirade for today. Now let's get down to the business, Jose.
Oh, let's get down to the business, yo.
Exactly.
What up, XL Energy Centers? What up, Williams Arenas? What up, John Martucci Arena at Minnesota?
That's
home
great
of Gophers,
knowledge,
that is.
We were in a building last night that's the home of the Minnesota Wild, and Luigi was looking at all the sweaters that were festooned above the upper surfaces of the XL Energy Center.
XL Energy Center?
That's correct, the home of the Minnesota Wild. They don't play like in Philly where they both hockey and basketball play in this. They have their own buildings. They have their own building in St. Paul, the capital, where the Minnesota Wild hockey team plays, and they also have the other building, which of course is the Target Center, where your Minnesota Timber Puppies play here in Minnesota, right near downtown. That's good knowledge right there. That's good knowledge. By the way, Luigi, who do you have on the Minnesota Timberwolves on your fantasy basketball team?
Well, no one right now, but because I don't play I play daily fantasy. But if I was playing daily fantasy, I love myself some Jimmy Butler and some Karl Anthony Towns.
Well,
Andrew
Karl
Wiggins
Anthony
starting to pick
Towns
up a
is
little
hurt,
bit.
isn't he?
Jeff Teague is a nice little value play for you at about 5,800 on FanDuel if you're playing there.
Wow.
Tony,
Rubio's,
Ricky Rubio's plays for Utah now, homeboy. You got to look for Jeff Teague and Tyus Jones.
That is great inside the NBA. When Kevin Harlan joins us later in the week, who is my favorite NBA broadcaster.
Will we be going head-to-head with Kevin? I can't go head-to-head with him. I mean, even I will bow down to Kevin Harlan's
Kevin
knowledge.
Harlan is simply...
Welcome to TNT.
Exactly
Thursday
right.
Night Basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan with Reggie Miller, yo.
Exactly right.
That
Kevin
guy-
Harlan's phenomenal. Just phenomenal. By the way, Town Hall Brewer, you coming out to Minnesota for our Super Bowl party on Sunday, Jose?
I'm going to be watching the game at the confines of my house while we take over the NFL landscape, take down the Pats, take down the commissioner, the refs, the people of Minnesota, and
It's
the
a start.
Lombardi will leave Minnesota.
Exactly. I
It
saw the
starts
Lombardi
Sunday
walk
night.
right by me last night.
Walk right by me. It was covered in a sheath.
It was
They had
covered
wrapped.
in a gray and a green.
Actually, I need to
That
look
was
this
interesting.
up.
You know what color the Lombardi trophy was covered?
But it was like a turquoise
No,
stone.
it was Tiffany's green. So I actually have to look it up.
This is breaking news that nobody else has brought you. When the Lombardi trophy made its way last night.
It was like a sea foam, though.
No,
yeah,
that's
no,
Tiffany.
it was still
That's a
green. It
Tiffany.
wasn't the Patriot red, white, and blue. It was green, which is a sign, ladies and gentlemen.
Robin, does Tiffany make the Lombardi trophy? Did they make it?
Well, that's what I'm gonna look
Tiffany
it up.
Company?
I don't know, but I saw the cover and it was the Tiffany color, and I'm like, is the Lombardi trophy made by Tiffany's?
It's not made by Sears. I remember that. It used to be the college football trophy was Sears. Remember that, the Sears trophy?
Yes.
So let's continue. So we gave you the color of the Lombardi trophy sheath that it was sheathed in was totally green, not Eagles Kelly green. It was green.
Yeah, you couldn't.
That means another sign, not Almeida
I
sign,
didn't think of that.
and not Inez sign, who we saw last night.
Awesome.
What happened?
What
Now?
about Jose?
She's giving me her silver medals.
Jose, wait,
What about tomato sign?
Tableside guac.
Yeah, sit down. Those chips. Wait, we got a whole bunch of chips here. Hold on. They were just made.
This is freshly made. You're giving me the medals again? I want a picture, yeah.
Well, Ivan might want some. Ivan, want some guac, bro?
Tableside guac, just freshly made from Cantina Laredo, right down the hall here.
The chips are still hot, man.
You're not swimming anymore.
chips are
That's
still
not going
hot.
to hurt you.
Whoops, her mic is
Her
not
mic's
on.
not on.
Oh,
By the
I'm
way,
sorry, I had it down. I'm sorry.
you know, avocados are a great source of.
I'm an avocado aficionado.
Me too. I
One
can
a
just
day.
oh
You
yeah.
have to try it. Yeah.
I can just eat them with just a little tiny bit of salt. Just scoop it out.
Oh yeah, so good.
So
Can I at
Tony,
least
I
test you
do.
one of those medals?
I do have an
I just wanna see
update
one.
on the Lombardi Trophy.
the Lombardi Trophy had a green cover on it last night.
It was Tiffany green,
Oh, really?
and so that's kind of a sign for the Eagles,
take
right?
pictures.
But
Absolutely.
it was. I recognized the Tiffany green color, and so I just looked it up. The original trophy was produced by Tiffany and Company in Newark, New Jersey, and others have since been handcrafted by different companies. But it looks like this year's was once again made by Tiffany.
Wow, how
sign.
about that? Is a
Look at
sign.
that.
I like it.
This is inside stuff that you don't get anywhere else. You know what I mean? So you're having fun on Radio Rona? You're not going to have any tableside guac?
I'm serious. I filled up on so much falafel today.
Falafel.
I had
Luigi?
falafel
that was
yesterday.
good.
I love falafel.
Yeah.
Did you have any shawarma while you were there?
didn't.
Oh, okay.
Dude, Tone, this is the only kind of bling I'm worried about right here, man. You kidding me? Can we get it to spin?
No,
Can we
you
get-
can't
can we
do
get
that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't do that.
Have you done that with this? You don't do that. This is sacred.
It's a joke, Tony.
This is sacred.
It's a joke. Jeez.
Can't
She's gonna
take him
teach me.
anywhere.
She's gonna teach me how to swim, and I'm gonna
You
buy her
guys look
falafel
good with
afterwards.
those things on. You look good.
Thank
Looks very natural.
There you go.
Is it good with my collar?
What up,
Yeah.
Olympic gold medalist?
That's gonna be the trade-off. Okay.
By the way, we have Jose on the line, who's a big Olympic supporter.
She's gonna teach me how to swim, and I'm gonna buy her falafel and avocados. That's gonna be the even payoff. There you go. Boom, done.
Match
But
made
after
in heaven.
swimming,
Seems fair. Seems fair.
But only 45 minutes before we go swimming, I get a cramp and everything. Yeah, I cramp easy.
All right, now I need to take a picture,
You got to get a picture taken. Here, why don't you put both on, Tony?
but I need her to come over here.
Of course you do.
Carolyn Joyce is back with us, and because I wanted a picture,
Robin, check this.
What up, Carolyn Joyce?
I got to do it while I'm on the air because we don't take breaks on this show.
Hold on.
We don't have no commercial breaks. We just keep talking. Unlike regular radio, you
What
know,
up,
they have a
Carolyn
5-minute
Joyce?
segment with somebody, and then, oh, I'm sorry, we're out of time. Did you get any of those today?
I did. I got cut off a lot.
Really?
I got stuff to say. Nobody wants to listen.
Except on this show. This is the only show I got to wrap up. We did like.
You gotta hold up the medals. and
Yeah, I
pretend
know how to
like
do
you
it.
won.
Yeah, like this.
Okay, perfect.
I know how to do it. I've been on many podiums, or actually in front of
You
podiums.
look like a natural.
I was many podiums where I looked up, and I would tear up. I'm there. I'll tell you, when I was in Sarajevo, You know, when seriously, when the Winter Olympics, and seriously, they were machine gun toting people all over the place. It was scary because they were on the verge of civil war. And when I would go to the podium, and I would always go to the podium because they would do it at night. They didn't do it right after the events in the Winter Games because it's cold. So they get everybody downtown, and they have and whenever an American would go up on the stand, I would start sobbing like a baby. I really did, man. Especially when you're in another part of the world. You're in Yugoslavia then, Yugoslavia. They're playing the national anthem, and you're standing there watching Americans stand on the podium.
Absolutely,
it really
man.
Even in L.A., even at the Summer Games, even in Atlanta. Whenever I see an American go up on the podium, there's nothing better.
That's a question I even wanted to ask Carolyn was what was going through your mind and the emotions you were going through when you were standing up there and you were getting this medal put around your neck.
It's kind of one of those things, like, you try to do the next right thing. Like, I was 18 when I won my first medal, so I was like, okay, Kara, step up on the podium. Do not trip. Do not fall. And then, like, okay, bow your head. And then you have this, like, moment of clarity where it's like, oh, whoa, whoa. What? This is really cool.
This is
like,
real.
They just put the medal around my neck. Where's Mom?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And now
because when
Athens,
you're that young,
right?
you're
Athens, the birthplace of the Olympiad.
Yes.
And then you're
they put
Beijing,
the
China.
olive wreath around your head in Athens.
Yeah.
Now, I have to tell you, who is the one that makes those commercials? Is it Johnson & Johnson or something?
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gets me every time.
Every single time.
Yeah.
And I'm not even, I didn't even do that. I mean, does
it's
your
so
mom?
true.
Theater.
It's
She
so
did theater.
true. Yeah.
They don't do it. Well, you can
My
thank Mom
parents
for
woke
theater.
up so early to take me to practice. They were there for the good times, the bad times, and like when you're on the podium, it's like, oh, I certainly did not get here alone. Like it's so many people.
So when you were up there, that's the first
Takes a
person you think
village.
of is
yeah,
Mom.
and she was like in the stands crying, and I was like, oh, that's embarrassing.
You're making me cry now.
You know what's making me cry?
know,
She's
dude.
18 winning Olympic medals, and I'm bartending at Maui. How's that life for perspective, all right? That's horrible.
Thanks for coming back.
Thanks,
it was
guys.
great to
Yes.
meet you. And
I'm so glad
I
we got
love
the
meeting
photos.
Great athletes and great people.
Thank you.
Better than great athletes.
Enjoy the
Great
walk.
athletes are fun.
Not every day you
Great
get to meet an
people.
Olympic winner here. That's
Well, I am.
well, that's because you are who you are.
Exactly.
I'm no
Come
one,
on.
Tony.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She's taller than Robin. Robin's only 5'10". I know. She's a 6-footer. You can't teach 6 feet.
You can't teach height,
No,
Tony.
You can't.
You
You
can't
cannot
teach height,
teach
Tony.
And she has flats on.
I know. Imagine if she had like 7-inch stilettos on. Imagine
Well,
that.
I would like. So my brother's 6'5.5", and he was a swimmer. His swim coach said that because of the size of his feet, size of his hands,
You know what they say
that
about big
he
feet.
was like the perfectly built, and he had really long arms. He had much longer arms than normal, and we used to make fun of him that he was kind of a Neanderthal because his
by the
arms hung down so low.
You know Jose is still on the line?
Yeah, that's fine.
no,
Leave me there for a second.
You all right, Jose? I'm sorry,
No,
man.
I actually had to bring it back.
When you get interrupted by a woman who's won 4
silver medals.
I brought him back.
Okay.
He's there. I had to just mute him for a second because.
No, she's got 4 silver medals.
I know. There was a Jeff Foxworthy joke because you were just making the whole innuendo thing about if they say about guys with big feet or whatever.
Yeah.
Jeff Foxworthy had this thing. He goes, well, you know what they say about guys with big feet, or if he's got big ears, or big hands, or big fingers. Let me tell you something. He better be packed, because that's one goofy-looking son of a bitch. I'll tell you that right now.
You might be a redneck if you're Luigi in Minnesota.
If you ever cut your grass and found your car, you might be a redneck.
Damn right. All right, let's get back down to the serious business now that we've got Olympic action.
If you have several homes with wheels on it and several cars without, you may be a redneck. That's great, dude.
Ridiculous. Jose?
Yes.
Other than that.
What up, silver Olympian medalist?
The only thing the only thing Luigi know that's silver is Patron. And other silver vodka, tequilas.
1800, yeah.
Tequilas. That's the only silver he recognizes.
I know plenty of silver, man.
Who do you have? Do you have any silver jewelry at all?
No, straight gold, homie.
Damn right. How about white gold?
White gold's nice.
Robin likes white gold over
Yeah, you know
gold
what?
gold.
It's weird. When I was really young, I actually my skin tone has changed slightly as I got older. When I was younger, gold-colored gold looked better on me. Now the gold-colored gold doesn't look as good on me. So all the white shades.
You know what looks best on me?
I don't mean to show it off or anything, I'm saying, but that's
You know what looks best on me?
What looks good on you?
Another woman.
Oh, of course.
Lombardi Trophy, yo.
Two chicks at the same time.
Well, that's even better. But
Actually,
I'm just.
I used to be a more flashy guy, the gold chain and stuff like that, but in a bracelet, never the ring.
I never wear jewelry. I don't wear necklaces. I don't wear.
Did you do the open shirt?
No, never. No.
Oh, thank God.
I would just have it. I had like a really nice, thicker gold chain. When you're Italian and you're born, they give you one.
Yeah.
It's just basically just as soon as you come out of the womb, they put the Jesus piece right on top of you.
I had the horn. I had the red horn. And then I grew up and realized I'm not a Stunad Mafia guy. Get that crap out of my face.
I just had a really nice, gold chain and bracelet. But then after I turned like 25, 26, I'm like, this is gaudy. It's getting a little too much.
Now, Jose, you're a guy. You're a platinum chain with diamonds in it kind of guy, are you not?
Bling bling, baby.
Aren't you one? I got platinum chains with them diamonds in it.
Not 2 chains.
Not 2 chains. He's not here this week, I don't think. Jose, are you a chain guy? A 2 chains guy by any chance?
I'm a chain guy, not a 2-chain guy, to be honest.
Yeah, you got. I mean, Mr.
Other
T,
than
man.
that,
Only Mr. T can do that. Can pull that off.
Yeah, exactly.
Now the Sixers are still winning while we're away. What else is going on back home?
While you guys back home, we had All-Star break action in Florida, yo.
I know. We missed the
And
All-Star
Jaromir
game.
Jagr's,
What happened with Jagr?
And Jaromir Jagr, he's officially no longer playing in the NHL. He cleared waivers. He is signed with the team in the Czech Republic. And with that being said, the NHL has said thank you to Jaromir Jagr.
Jaromir
He is
Jagr.
officially no longer in the league.
He checked out, basically, of the National Hockey League
I like that.
after one of the most incredible careers in hockey history.
Yeah, after all the, basically, top 5 player ever, arguably statistically wise.
Yeah.
But think about how old he is and how long he's been playing. He'd still have to play another 5 years to even get close to Gretzky's records.
Oh yeah, he's not going to break Gretzky's
But no, that's what I
record.
meant. Though, it's like that's how far away the records are.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. So we saw that, the All-Star game. We missed the All-Star game. We missed the Grammys. But the good news is the rest, about 75% of the country missed the Grammys, too, because nobody watched it.
And the good news is that we missed the All-Star game and
You
we
know
missed the
why
Grammys.
they missed the Grammys, yo?
Why?
Because we had all-time low ratings for Grammy action.
You're damn
yo.
right, man. Just keep making everything about politics in Hollywood, and learn. Sooner or later, you'll learn your lesson. That people don't watch award shows to be preached to, regardless of your political bent. That crap's old. And if you don't understand it and you don't care about ratings, these television networks are going to stop putting this crap on if it's all about beating the drum for your political causes. That's not why people watch award shows. Actually, I don't know why people watch award show, except for the people who are on the award shows. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jose.
You know why we don't watch them?
Why?
I'll tell you why we don't watch them.
Why?
We don't want to. The reason why award shows are on is to be entertained.
Exactly.
Not to say political, roughneck nonsense on a public forum in front of a music academy.
Exactly.
You know?
I haven't watched. It's not just because Trump's the president, or I haven't watched award. I was on award shows and I didn't watch them.
That's true.
Seriously, I don't get it. I mean, you're congratulating yourself. I mean, the Academy Awards, the Academy Awards have been around forever.
I like to congratulate the Academy. I like to congratulate my entourage. I like to congratulate God. I like to congratulate the good folks at the record labels, yo.
Exactly.
For hooking me up with some parties afterwards. I don't want to hear that, man.
No.
Just go out and sing,
All those
yo.
people that go to those parties, all they want is party favors. Party favors in the house tonight.
And that's why we will not be attending the NFL award show.
Now, I had an invite to the NFL Honors Show on Saturday night.
Yeah, we all did.
But you know where I'm going instead?
Said no.
Where are we going instead, Robin, instead of NFL Honors? And not that there's anything wrong with the NFL Honors.
Saturday night.
We're going to the Taste of the NFL.
The Taste of the NFL. It is one of the great events. All 32 teams will bring chefs. The Taste of the NFL has been going on since the beginning, and they will bring in chefs from every city. Will have their own little station, and then you'll get to sample food from, and you talk about going crazy, 32 different food stations, and you get a little taste. You just get a little dollop of something. A little shrimp here.
What up, Italy?
Yeah, but you eat like 7,000 samples, you get full.
What up, UK? What up, Scotland?
And the
what
Eagles,
up, Ireland?
And I will be reporting live from there, too. We're going to go live at the Taste of the NFL, and they call it a party for a purpose. That was the original party for the purpose. So it's going to be awesome.
Yep.
And then Matt Money Smith will be there. He just landed, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, is he cold.
And boy, are my arms tired.
Exactly right. Give him a rim shot right there, Luigi.
What up, Mr. Smith?
Actually, we should. Do you have time, Matt? Just come.
Give me
sit
a
down.
minute.
I only have like 60 seconds.
That's all we
right
need.
behind you.
Oh, where are you?
I'm right there with Wayne the engineer.
Oh, I love
right
Wayne
next
the
to
engineer.
the sponsored by AA Bail Bonds, San Antonio
Oh,
station.
I love that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so you just got in. I saw you, and you were tweeting on the plane, and I read, "Hey man,
hey man."
He tweeted a photo of the cold. He left Southern California, but Minnesota's great. You've traveled.
Love it here. I was mocking. It was an ironic tweet. All the people, I left fill in the blank warm city to come to this. Yes, it's Minnesota in February. Guess what? It's going to be 1 or 7 or 11. That's what it's going to be outside.
You see him hear him on the NFL Network. You see him on the NFL Network. He's on with Petros and Money. He is thus Money of Petros and Money. Just named the top sports talk show in Los Angeles, California. Give him a roaring round of applause.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Give him a roaring round of applause. Well, did you see the love I gave you guys on Twitter?
I did.
By the way, you still follow me on Twitter, man?
Yeah. Don't you remember I was replying to you?
That's right. That's right.
No, I know that you're a health food freak, so we have
guac for the table from
fresh
Cantina Laredo.
guacamole.
Tableside
Fresh.
guac.
I appreciate. Oh, that's just cut up. A lot of limes in there.
It's
it
great
looks
stuff.
beautiful.
No onions,
Cantina
though.
Laredo. Look at all the chips.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
hot.
Here's my thing. I'm a weirdo, and it's flu season.
Oh.
I'm
Dude,
sorry.
it was just freshly made
I know it
right
was.
down the road.
I know it was, but look at.
I'm eating it. Look how healthy
Tony,
I am.
I got to run over and get back on the air.
All right, get back on the air,
look
man.
Look at these people around
Matt
you.
Money Smith.
Look
We'll
at
see
these
you all
filthy
week.
animals on
I hate
Radio
these
Row.
people. I hate Radio
So
Row.
do we.
But look at what I have here, man.
I love. God, that's a beautiful backdrop. I'm gonna snap a photo and tweet.
You know what that's called? A rinse and repeat. A rinse and repeat.
Yes, it is.
It's
Well,
a
actually, it's step and repeat.
I know, but I've named it rinse and repeat. It just sounds better, especially for guys. There is Matt Money Smith, ladies and gentlemen.
Unreal.
Oh,
That's
Tony
awesome.
Bruno.
Everybody's here, Robin. It's like this
So-
is your life.
So Tony
Or
Bruno.
this is your non-life.
We actually.
This is Jose still on hold.
No, well, I had
Jose,
to-
you still there?
No, I had to take him off again because there's just too many things going on.
But we have to say goodbye to him.
Yes, so he's back. I'm bringing him back on.
Oh, okay. We didn't hang up on him.
No.
Okay, that's rude.
No.
Even though he's been on hold
I
for like 25 minutes.
I just randomly keep. Jose, I'm sorry. I just randomly keep putting you on hold whenever somebody comes on.
Are you
but I'm
using
not
minutes?
hanging up on you.
Do you have an unlimited plan on your phone, Jose, or are you using valuable minutes?
I have unlimited.
Oh, that's awesome, man. You should have unlimited.
Other than that, I should have said what up to Petros and Money. Wow.
I know.
I know.
Matt Money, he couldn't put the headphones on, so he couldn't hear you because he had to run. He just literally walked in and is now going on
I
the
think
air.
I think we took up his potty time. I think he was actually running the restroom and now he can't go.
What up?
So, hey,
Petros?
Jose, I am so sorry. I actually have more breaking news for Tony, so we're going to actually have to let you go, but you'll have time to call back this week.
Absolutely. We're here all week. Try the veal, except, or try the elk, actually.
It's the best in the city.
Try the elk. If you're in Minnesota, I hear the elk and eggs, something you must have. Is that a scrapple?
You know what we're going to do? Then we're going to do that tomorrow.
Elk and eggs?
Elk and eggs.
We love you, Jose, as does everybody else on the Tony Bruno Show.
Instead of like being at home going, give me those effing eggs.
We love
elk
you.
and eggs.
There he is.
I love you guys.
Oh,
Thank
we
you,
went Gene
Jose.
Hackman from Hoosiers. I love you guys. That's what he was quoting right there. You may not know that, but that's what he was doing.
I don't know Hoosiers. I use the most famous
No,
quotation
what
from
I'm saying is
Hoosiers.
you may not know that that's the line he was quoting when he had them all in the circle.
Yes.
And he goes, I love you guys.
I know. After he said, how many times are we going to pass the ball before we shoot? Exactly.
So, we are going to go just a little bit long today.
We have another special guest joining us
Because
momentarily.
Doug Gottlieb said that he definitely wants to come on the show, but his show is over at 5. So as soon as he's
We're
done,
going to go overtime and bring in a man who could destroy Luigi Curto in basketball.
Well, yeah, because he played basketball.
Well,
On a
you said you
collegiate-
played basketball, too.
He played on a high school level. He played freaking college ball, man.
You know where he played college ball?
Notre Dame, right?
Notre Dame, and then I think he went to Oklahoma State after that.
Oh,
He
okay.
transferred. And by the way, there's a big college basketball story today that it looks like they're finally going to change the rules that if a coach bolts on his team, you know how the kids can't go?
Yes.
Yes.
The kids will now be allowed to transfer if their coach
I love that.
leaves,
That's
quits,
awesome.
I love that.
and they should.
That's
because
always
no
bothered
coach
me.
who recruits a kid and then all of a sudden gets a better offer somewhere else and bolts, and the kids are stuck there for another year, that's unfair, and they're finally, NCAA finally is getting their heads out of their asses.
It's not just that. It's the fact that imagine that you're this kid's parent, right?
Yep.
You're in the living room. I come in, I wine you, I dine you, I give you the whole spiel. bring your son to my school. I'll take care of him. I'll make sure he gets a great education. I'll coach him.
I'll get him if he's at USC. I'll get him a car up in Orange County.
Listen, no stock model. We'll get fully loaded, the whole 9, touch, nav, the whole thing.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, you come in first day of school, and I'm leaving.
I know.
They leave on a summer vacation and like show up, and it's not cool.
You didn't pick the school. You picked the coach.
Yeah.
You want to play for the coach, and now I'm leaving. You have a right. You should be allowed.
Unless it's Duke or
USC.
Kentucky or UNC or.
But what I'm saying is that you should be able to leave.
I agree.
You're there under false pretense.
That's why I just gave the powers that be some credit for
damn
finally
time.
getting their heads out of their butts.
Speaking of heads out of their butts, we got Justin Healy from Australia calling in, man.
Well, his head's in his butt?
No,
he's down under.
Exactly, that's what I meant.
Isn't it
down
already?
Under. You get it, Tony?
Isn't it already Wednesday? What up Wednesday there?
It is. We should check in and see what he says.
Let's go down under and find out. It is summer there. The Australian Open just ended, but it's a dry heat. Well, it's not a dry heat. It's pretty humid down there. Let's go down to the Aussies. Down to the, I sound like Jose now. Let's talk Aussies, yo.
It's a 5-day cricket game down there, Tony.
They're still underway. And Justin Healy, our correspondent in Melbourne, is joining us right now live here on Radio Row. What's going on down there, Justin?
A windy Melbourne summer day. G'day, Tony. G'day, Miss Robin.
G'day.
G'day, Luigi.
What up?
Go Eagles. Go Eagles.
Damn right, man. You understand. You understand what America's all about, my friend.
Now, Justin, don't you wish you were here for this?
No, he's in Australia where it's 100 degrees and the water is clear and... What's the coldest temperature you've ever been in, Justin?
Robin. Sorry, Tony?
What is the coldest temperature you've ever been in, Fahrenheit or Celsius?
In Celsius, I was in Switzerland for a good 3 months, and there were 5 days in a row below minus.
So for people that don't know, 0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So our freezing is actually
Fahrenheit,
0.
yeah.
So it was below 32. So it was below 0 Celsius.
Correct. So that's like negative.
Yeah, that's right.
That's like negative.
Don't ask me to do math. That's my weakness. I only have one weakness, and it's math.
What was the temperature again?
Math.
If it's below 0 degrees Celsius, that means it's probably like 20 below.
No. It's like 10.
10 below? Because 0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
Right. And so if it goes to below 0, then you're in between. It's below 32.
Correct.
So it's probably about 10.
10 degrees Celsius?
Right? Did
I don't know. You're
right?
asking me to do stinking Celsius again in Fahrenheit. That's why I have.
I know it.
That's why I have my phone that tells me what the kilometers are and miles per hour.
Because it's so much easier. It's just everything divided by 10.
Sometimes,
Celsius.
you know what I do on the road, Justin? I drive on the wrong side of the road and then put on my speedometer onto kilometers so I can feel like I'm in Europe.
Yes.
Yeah. Just so you can feel it.
And the police officer reminds you
Sounds like
immediately
a
you are not in
challenge,
Europe, sir.
Yes.
You are not on the Autobahn.
This is not the Autobahn now.
9.
Now, do people care about the Super Bowl?
We have kangaroos that slow you down here.
Oh, man.
I'm assuming like in certain parts of the country where they have like the deer and the cow guards, they have kangaroo guards down there. They'd have
you know
to,
what
right?
else they have? I didn't realize. Camels. Camels are big in Australia.
They are?
Wild camels are big.
Yep.
Now, is that because
Camels out in the outback.
were they brought over at a certain time and then they just proliferated, or have they always been there?